Oh, well, hello. Hello, friends. How are you? Happy Sunday, everyone. I see there is a bunch of people in chat. Thank you so much to all of you who are already here and hanging out. Lucy, hello, darling. Beep, 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 beep. Janet, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Mittens for kittens, hello. Good to see you, Dago. Hi, Dago. Oh my goodness, Dago's hanging out tonight. All right. Must be my lucky day if Dago's visiting me. Michelle, hello. Beach Babe, hello. Sunny days, good morning to you. Hope everybody's having a great night. Karma Police, hello. Joanna, hello. Hi, for fuck's sake, Fitziana. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much, Dago. I truly appreciate you. We haven't even started. You're already kicking it off, huh? Hi, Sharon. How are you? Anna D. Good to see you. Well, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I'm hoping StreamYard and my audio are holding up. I know Restream was kind of a shit show last night, so that's why I wanted to do a round two. Well, good morning to you, Jesse. Batsheet, hello. Always good to see you. Tammy, hello. So, anyways, I know last night was a little wild because I was using Restream. We had bad weather. My audio was all fucked up. So, let me know right now, how do I sound? How's this mic working out? I got a completely different mic that doesn't need to plug into any ports or anything. And I'm hoping this is much better, Dago. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that. You're amazing. Momo's thinking, hello. Simply Solo, hello. Meg P. Is that the beautiful Meg P? Hi, honey. How are you? Lux, you made it in. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Cat K, hello. Kane B, I don't know where you are. You're probably working, but I hope you're having a great night. Artie, you did. You caught alive. How are you? Justice, hello. Welcome in. I'm going to try and keep up with my chat, but we'll do what we can do. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, Mittens. Yeah, it's not like clipping out or anything. I know when I went back and listened on the replay, let me turn this down because it looks like it's way up to 100. I don't think I need it that loud. Summer Jade, hello. Janet, thank you. You can hear me. I don't sound like all crazy though, right? I don't sound like a robot. I'm not clipping in and out or anything. Really hoping this is a better mic here. Dago. Oh, you're awesome, Dago. Thank you so much. James Moen, how you doing? Good to see you. Rayannette, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Jackie. Hello. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. So I wanted to do another little live stream tonight. We're going to do a bit of an open panel. I'm hoping. I know Willie tried to get in last night. He was having some problems, so he'll probably hop up for 10, 15 minutes or so. I haven't seen him pop in yet, but I will put the link in chat. And but I did want to show you guys something first, right? Now I did share it on my community tab. I'm hoping I'll be able to share it with you. Um, it looks like some people in Boise were put on notice, got their asses handed to them by a Miss Jessica Saxton and another gentleman here, Tanawa Downing, a Tanner Downing. So they showed up at the city council meeting and, basically handed Boise officials their ass, put them on notice, and basically put them on notice for their judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement officers who are enforcing unconstitutional laws or doing unconstitutional things and lots of corruption and Meg P, Dollar Tree Fund, yay! So I wanted to show you guys that because I thought it was really interesting. I also have been looking up a few things on Mr. Tanner Downing here and this Jessica Saxton. She is the civil rights attorney Tanner here. I may have gotten it confused. I thought they were both attorneys. I think she is the attorney. He is like a chief legal analyst for this freedom thing. Either way, I'll share it all with you guys and I'll, put the links and all that good stuff. But it's just really interesting to see what's happening in Boise. And basically, what this Tanner gentleman had to say about that. He actually is open for interviews and stuff too. So I'm going to put out an email. I did link the video in the description of this live. I also shared it on my community tab. I hope he doesn't have a problem with me sharing the content. Jackie, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Willie, what up, Willie? Okay, cool. You're here. Awesome. Yes, good evening, mods. Thank you for being here. Thank you to every single one of you who decided to pop in. Appreciate all of you. How's my mic sounding, Willie? How do I sound tonight, Willie? Is it sounding a lot better than last night? I don't know. I tried to do a little test run, so. Yeah, Idaho definitely needs a legal tune-up. I'll give you that. That's for sure. Sound is good? Okay, awesome. Perfect. We're not clipping out or anything. Yeah, I think it's like a bad port or something, I'm not going to lie, which pisses me off because I just got this computer. So at some point, I'll take it over to Geek Squad. But for now, this is what we're working with. All right, so, hey, Bunny, how are you? Jesse, you don't know about the sound? Can we say, fuck, how's my sound? How's that, Jesse? For fuck's sake, how's my sound? All right. So yes, give it up for your mods. They are in blue. Make sure you put a lot of hearts in the chat. Thank you so much, you guys, for your super stickers. And you don't have to do that, but I truly appreciate it. You're awesome. Dollar Tree Fund, Starbeast Fund. We are getting some wicked weather here right now, like torrential downpours. You may hear some thunder. Sorry about that if you do. All right, so let me see if it is going to let me share. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. I want to do this one here. Make sure you guys can hear it and all that good stuff. Get the ad.
So we're fun.
Pause this real quick because I want to make sure audio's up. Volume's up. Okay. Volume's up there. Let's make this big screen for you. And as long as everybody can see this, okay. El Boricua. Hola, ¿cómo está? Kane B, there you are. How are you? I was just saying, I don't know where Kane is, but if he's working, I hope you're having a great night, Kane. Thanks for coming up last night. I'm sorry that my audio was shit and the restream was shit. I'm trying it tonight on StreamYard. Giving some other people some chance to click the link if they want. All right, so hopefully this is going to work and I don't get a copyright strike. It's not that long. It's a 6-minute video. Let's make sure you guys can hear it. Turn this up for you.
The police, and you're putting us on notice that the state has rules that are unconstitutional.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Jessica Saxon. And then Tanawa Downey. And are you representing yourself or an organization?
Myself.
Okay.
My name is Jessica Saxon. I'm a civil rights advocate and litigator from Washington, D.C. I'm here to provide public notice to you. This is in accordance with USCS Rules of Civil Procedure, as well as Rule 17 and Rule.
Let me pause for 1 second. Can you guys hear that okay? I just want to make sure you have audio before I let it play. Just throw some ones in chat if you can hear that okay. I'd appreciate it. I don't want to let it play. It's a city council meeting. Sorry, I think I put town hall. Whatever. City council, town hall, some big fucking meeting with all of these Boise officials who are about to get their asses handed to them is what it is, Jesse. City council, town hall, I don't fucking know. I think I put town hall. If it's city council, my bad, guys, I'll fix it. Rusty, hello. Okay, cool. Nothing half-assed. Awesome. You guys can hear it. Perfect. Wonderful. Let's continue.
20 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution of the United States is the overarching requirements that every state must follow. I don't think anyone here would disagree with that. States are not able to enact their own alternative legislation in substitution for the guarantees of the Constitution. That would mean that your state laws are more powerful than the Constitution, and that is unlawful. Clause 1 of Amendment 5 to the United States Constitution says that no person should be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury. However, the state of Idaho, unfortunately, has enacted its own alternative legislation that permits prosecuting attorneys and police officers to charge by way of information as opposed to indictment. That is unconstitutional. An emolument violation is when you pay a public official to commit a crime. There are two areas.
I'm
in the
sorry, ma'am. This
Constitution
is what is the connection to the budget
the
hearing?
connection to this is that you guys are.
If this is legal notice, I'd ask that you do this with our attorneys.
Just wanted to pause and give commentary. You hear what she said there, right? The emoluments clause. It's when you pay someone to commit a crime. It's when you pay an official to commit a crime.
Well, what this connection is that you just had a budget that is allotting funds to go towards your police department. And your
So
law
we're
enforcement
funding the police, and you're putting us on notice that the state has rules that are unconstitutional.
So if the state has enacted an unconstitutional law and then you're paying your public officials to break that law,
right.
then yes, that would be unconstitutional and thus unlawful and illegal. And so we are here under the public hearing to provide notice. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Excuse me, there are two areas of the Constitution that reinforces this. The one is Article 1, Section 10, where it says that no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of contract. So your police officers, your prosecutors, your judges, they're all under a contract. That was a contract.
Police officers, prosecutors, and judges are being paid to enforce unconstitutional laws enacted by the judges in that state who don't have the right to make law because that's not what judges do. They don't make law. Oh boy, this gets good.
Based on their oath. The second one is the 14th Amendment. That you'll find the reinforcement of this. It says that no state shall create or enforce any law that shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the United States citizens. Privileges and immunities of United States citizens are at a minimum those that are enumerated in the bill and the first set of amendments guaranteed and secured by the Constitution. So Mr. Tanwell Downing, he is preparing to litigate this issue at the United States Supreme Court on behalf of more than 700,000 people currently imprisoned here in America unconstitutionally. So yes, I'm here.
So the gentleman who's about to get up after her, Mr. Tanner Downing, is going to be representing almost 700,000 people before the Supreme Court. Wrongfully charged, wrongfully whatever, all kinds of. It's pretty wild. I'm not even joking you. When I listened to this today, I had to listen to it twice because I was like, holy shit.
To provide notice to you today that if you continue to pay public officials to break the law, that criminal sanctions can come from that. Nobody wants that.
If you continue to pay public officials to break the law, criminal sanctions.
That's not where we want to go. Nonetheless,
literally cackling.
Public officials must be made aware that if you continue to pay people to disobey the law, that is an emolument violation, it is unconstitutional, and it is illegal. I do have a notice that I would like to put on the record here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks. Mr. Downing.
Thank you so much. So I have roughly 4,000, a little over 4,000 criminal affidavits on behalf of actual victims of this particular situation. People have been charged improperly in violation of the Constitution from right here in the state of Idaho. Many of them are from
charged improperly and unconstitutionally right here in the state of Idaho.
Within the city of Boise itself. Now, this is per se crime, meaning that we don't have to show that they intended to breach their obligations simply by virtue of the breach. All elements of crime have been met because these public officials, they swore by oath or affirmation that they would fulfill a future outcome, which they have not as of this moment because they're relying upon an inferior state statute. So you guys prepare the budget for the law enforcement.
They're relying on an inferior state statute.
The police department. That's part of the budget that you guys are asking for right here. If those police officers are going out and relying upon an inferior state statute that directs them or permits them to abridge their obligations that are codified in the Constitution of the United States of America, they're committing a crime, right? It's called deprivation of rights under color of law. It's very, very simple.
Deprivation of rights under the color of law. That's a crime. Moscow police, are you listening?
So, you cannot pay public officials to break the law. That's the emolument violation. We're providing notice to you guys. We're not trying to get anybody into trouble. We're not here confrontationally. We want to ask you guys to please step up and simply discharge the duties of your office, confirm the things we're saying by taking a look at Clause 1, Amendment 5, and then directing the agents to act in lawful constitutional manner so we can avoid any further litigation. The state of Idaho does not have the authority to create an inferior state statute and then go and enforce that in violation of the Constitution of the United States. So I know that you guys are going to go ask your attorney here in a moment, right? As soon as we're done, you guys are going to go ask your attorney. You're going to say, hey, is this true? That attorney is going to say, well, no, not really, because of a case from 1884 from the United States Supreme Court. It's called Hurtado versus California. And before
Anybody happen to remember this? Remember when everybody was like, why is Jay Logston talking about law from the 1800s? Why is Jay Logston going all the way back to the 1800s?
before you guys choose to rely upon that as the foundation, I want to remind you guys that the Constitution of the United States is the foundation, not a judge-made ruling. Judges do not have the authority to legislate. Therefore, when the United States Supreme Court chooses to create a ruling and then place it at the foundation through the amending of the Constitution of the United States of America in other than lawful manner, because we all know that you got to go to Article 5 to confirm the way in which you amend the Constitution of the United States. Any other way would be an unconstitutional act. The Supreme Court of the United States has no authority to create a ruling, place it at the foundation, and direct all the states to act in violation of the Constitution of the United States. Any amendment to the Constitution must be done by an authentic act of people in accordance with the special amending procedure of Article 5. So again, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, but I'm going to ask you guys, please make sure that you look at the proper foundation and not the foundation that you guys are being directed to look at. Judges do not have the authority to legislate, right? We did not delegate that authority to the judicial branch. All legislative authority is vested in a Congress of the United States consisting of a Senate and House of Representatives. That is Clause 1, Article 1 of the Constitution of the United States. So again, I ask you guys, please step up, discharge the duties of your office, fulfill the obligations and promises that you made to the people of the state of Idaho, and let's enforce, recognize, and obey the Constitution of the United States of America. Thank you guys so much. God bless.
All right. So, yes, we're going to do open panel, guys, but I wanted to share that with you, right? There's a few other things I brought up. This woman, the Jessica Saxton woman, this gentleman, Tanner here, I mean, they're going state to state. Thank you, Dago. Yeah, Jay Logston History Lesson 101, exactly. Now it makes sense to everybody who's giving Jay shit. Why is he going all the way back to the 1800s, right? Well, probably for the same fucking reason this guy is here. Because it would appear many judges, you got judges in many states who think that they all of a sudden now can enact law, and that's not their duty. And you have places like Boise who are paying judges and police officers to enforce unconstitutional laws, whether it's wrongfully charging someone, wrongfully convicting, wrongfully arresting, whatever the case may be. But I did link that video for everybody in the description of this live. I also shared it on my community tab. This gentleman, Tanner, here is open for interviews. He does have his email listed on his LinkedIn, and he is willing to meet with people to do interviews, to talk about what they're doing, what their movement is. I think it's more of like a religious freedom movement, to be honest with you, but fact of the matter is he's just a constitutionalist, right? They're both just constitutionalists, fundamental constitutionalists. And gotta tell you, I was super impressed listening to that. I had to listen to it a couple of times. And the first time I heard him say a case from the 1800s, Hurtado, I said, wait a minute. I think that's the same case that Jay Loxton was talking about back in the day. And everybody was giving him a bunch of shit for talking about these cases from the 1800s. But, I guess now we know why, right? So I wanted to share that just because I thought it was pretty awesome. Um, you know, and I just kind of cracked up laughing because he's basically, Boise was put on notice. And this isn't the first place. So they've gone state to state and done this at multiple city council meetings where they go and put the council members on notice right then and there at their city meeting, which is fucking hysterical. Talk about like expert level trolling, right? No, we're not going to come and have you served by some process server. We're going to put you on notice right here, right now, while it's all live streamed for everybody to see in front of your whole fucking community. We're going to put you on notice. It's like expert level trolling, in my opinion, is what they're doing. Just my opinion. What's that guy's name there? He's like a conservative person. I think it's like Alex Stein, right? That's what Alex Stein does. He shows up to all of these like board meetings or whatever, city hall meetings, town council meetings, and he just trolls the shit out of them with a bunch of bullshit. They're taking it to another level. I mean, they're trolling you, but they're literally trolling you with the Constitution, and they're telling you to your face why you're violating it. How you're violating it, why you're violating it, and we're putting you on notice to stop fucking violating it. Right, Lux? I'm so here for it. I want more. I want it in every state. Now do the FBI. Right? Like, that's where I am. I'm like, now do the FBI. More. I want more. Now I want you to do the FBI next. But either way, I am probably going to put in a request to maybe interview this gentleman. I'll see what he's willing to speak about, what he's not, see what we go, where we go from there, right? I'd be very interested to know what brought him to Idaho because this just happened July 15th. So, not that long ago. So, what we're going to do now is once I figure out how to do this, hang on, friends, because it's been a while since I've used StreamYard. Let me figure out how I get the link so I can put it in chat. What I'd like to do is maybe have like myself and like no more than 2 people up at a time. We have a discussion. You can give me your thoughts on what you just listened to or thoughts on anything else. And we'll go from there. I just can't have like 6, 7 people up on panel at the same time because it's sensory overload for me and I'll lose my shit. And everybody knows that I'll rage quit and shut shit down real quick. So let's do like 2 people at a time with me. So that should be okay. And then, everybody gets 10, 15 minutes. We'll boot someone out, let somebody else in. If there's a lot of people clamoring to get up here, which, I mean, I don't think there will be, but you just never know, right? It's a Sunday night. Hopefully people are home. All that I ask is you stay respectful. And that's it, So let me figure this out. And where do I find the... Oh, there it is. Come back over here. How's my mic holding up, friends? Thank you so much to every single one of you who's here. It says there's 173 people, 175 people here. So if there's 175 of you here, I hope you at least gave it a thumbs up or a thumbs down and you're following your heart. Do something if you're here, right? Don't just be a wallflower. Do something. There we go. All right. I just put the link in chat. Don't everybody click it all at once. But I do want to interview this Tanner Downing gentleman. I think he's awesome. I think he's fire. I think, Aries fire. Well, hello to you. Oh, looks like Willie was first in, which is good because he didn't get in last night. So let's Let's all hear what Willie thinks.
Bro, don't act like you didn't call me earlier to come up here. Let's see what
Hi,
Willie
Willie.
thinks.
How are you?
Hi, Annie. Nice to
I
finally
know.
talk to you.
I'm just being a smartass. How's StreamYard holding up
I
better?
know. Well, so am I, jackass. It's like 10 times
Do you
better
have
than
a
whatever the
delay?
fuck you use. Huh?
Do you have a delay like you did last night?
No, I think we have the opposite of a delay, which is great.
Okay, cool. So what do you think about what we just watched? How badass was that?
When was that?
July 15th.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, it's not the first
I know
state.
the pub, you know. And that's
Not the
Boise,
first
too.
state they've done it. Yeah, they went to Boise. They've been to multiple states. Went to Tennessee. They've been to, I think it said Illinois, Indiana. Like they just basically are on this whole movement across the country, and they are just
Mhm.
serving these people's asses to them at their own like city council meetings. It's fucking hysterical.
I like that the people are actually waking up.
I know, right? Ooh, Dago. Hi,
Yeah.
Dago.
Good evening, everybody.
What's up,
Thank
buddy?
you so much for all your freaking little super stickers or whatever they were. You're so nice. Thank you.
That's nothing. I owe you so many more because I've missed so many of these shows.
No, you don't. You owe me nothing.
I absolutely do.
That's what we used to do. Like when I used to stream over on the other platform, like we like go around and like gift one another and shit, dude. And like
Right.
once you start getting in, like once you start having a bunch of people and stuff, it's cool.
Well, I'm sad because I've missed so many of Annie's shows, but I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here right now. So
Well, that's okay. That's what the replay crew is for, Dago.
yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. I don't usually do open panels. Usually I just will go live and talk about something or read a document. So,
Right.
I figured let's do some open panels and hear what people think out there. And I
Yeah.
really wanted to share that video. What'd you think about that video?
I am like Willie. I'm like good. I'm glad people are like speaking up and starting to make a difference. Finally, we need to do it all over the place.
Oh yeah. It's trampling all over our rights. Because
Yeah.
again, this could happen to any of us. Any of us.
Yes.
And then what?
It really
And then
Or all of us at some point in time, it'll turn.
Yeah.
It's going to turn. It's going to turn the United States into another country. I'll just put it that way. And one by one, we're losing all of our rights within our local governments, and it's just climbing up quicker and quicker and quicker. And it's just enough.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to get into a political talk, but yeah, it's about time somebody's saying something.
Well, I thought it's really interesting when he brought up the case from the 1880s. I said, son of a bitch, I'm almost positive that's the case that Jay Logsdon was citing back in the day, and everybody gave him a bunch of shit over it. Like, why is he going back to, law from the 1800s? It's because they've been saying all along, and this is kind of what I was getting at last night in the panel. It would appear the defense here has been laying the groundwork for an actual, due process constitutional violation. They want to go to a much higher court, in my opinion.
That's what I was thinking last night. And
Hopefully.
somebody else pointed out, Supreme Court, here we come. And I said, okay, I get it now. So yeah.
Oh, P-Fox, you just got here. So I linked the video, darling. If you want to go watch it and come back, that should catch you up. Or if you want to rewind and put it at 2 speed, we just watched a kick-ass video out of Boise
Not too long.
of some. One of them is like a constitutional attorney. The other is like a civil rights advocate. They're doing some big freedom movement across the country, and they went and put the city of Boise and their officials on notice for basically paying their judges, police, and prosecutors to enforce unconstitutional law, and they are they're breaking. It's actually criminal what they're doing. What they're doing is committing crimes. And they were put on notice for it. So if you want, go watch the video, darling. You'll love it.
They're
Sorry,
really great
guys.
video.
P-Fox just got here, and I love her and wanted her to know what was happening.
That's all good. It's your channel.
Yeah, it's a great video too.
Wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, like, listen, I believe there's some kind of religious freedom movement, which is not like I don't- two things I don't want to talk about religions and politics, right?
Mhm.
Because those are the two things that will set people off real quick and it just turns people different. So I don't like to go there. I'm
Yeah,
not
both are made
promoting
out
these
of
people. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not promoting these people because due to their religious movement or whatever it is. I'm strictly promoting the fact that they are going around state to state and putting all of these officials on notice that, hey, you guys are doing things that are actually criminal, and we're putting you on notice for that. Don't make us have to file criminal sanctions.
Hallelujah.
Elizabeth. Yeah. Hopefully more people come out and talk at these, whatever these are.
It's interesting that Idaho is the first place we're seeing it.
Right?
Yeah, one thing I saw about Jessica Saxton too is that she deals with a lot of parental rights cases when
Mhm.
your parental rights have been infringed upon and or taken away from you, things like
Yeah.
that. She's big time when it comes to CPS.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
crazy
the
in
other
this
thing I
country. Like,
saw
we can,
about her with CPS. Like she goes hard at
it's
CPS
crazy
for
how
taking
easy it
people's
is.
kids.
It's crazy how easy it is to call on somebody. Like, you don't need to provide any proof or nothing. You can literally like just have a vendetta on somebody and just call CPS and just make up whatever bullshit you want, and they'll still like do like a visit or whatever. I heard it's crazy.
They have to go out and do a
Yeah, but like, come on.
home visit, and if they see fit, then they open a case on you.
Yeah, it's
So-
just weird that like they don't like you don't need any proof. They don't, it's like.
I just think it's interesting that a lot of her work has to do with CPS, and I don't know what you guys know about it or what you don't, but like over the course of like the last 8 to 10 years, the amount of CPS corruption that's been exposed, it was brought to light here in my state with the Harmony Montgomery case.
Mhm.
But I noticed over the last like decade between the amount of CPS workers who they themselves are either pedophiles, traffickers,
Oh my
whatever.
god!
Oh, it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
What the hell?
We've had it.
Yeah,
We've had
it's
issues here.
absolutely crazy. I'll probably end up doing like a whole. That's probably something we're going to cover at some point after I'm finished with
Yeah.
like Epstein and Ghislaine. Is like the whole CPS like trafficking cover up and things like that. Like it's wild. It is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of problems, and we have for years here in Ohio with it too. And it's just their answer is always that they're understaffed and so on and so forth. And there's been so many kids that have slipped through the system because they're not paying the attention they're supposed to. They're getting, like you just said, with the calls you're talking about, Willie. Like they'll blow them off, and they'll go do a walk in and hey, how are you? My name is such and such. Oh, it looks great, and leave. And they don't really do the dive they're supposed to look into the situation. And then we're losing children left and right. It's and then on the other hand, they're not looking into the other things they should be. So
Yeah. There is a slight, just so you know, Andy, when me and Dago talk, there's an echo. Oh shit! Now it's really bad.
There's an echo. I was going to say it too.
So I don't know if you need to, if it's you need to turn that down on your end or.
Go into the cogwheel at the bottom, Annie, and it's their settings, and then go.
That's right. Dago's here now.
Go under audio, and there's a little box in there that says echo cancellation, and tell me if it's checked or unchecked.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
I was like, wait, Dago has a channel. He knows what the fuck to do.
Yeah, my echo cancellation on. I turned my mic down. Let's turn it down some more.
And if I'm too loud, let me know. I'll turn myself down.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, like my mic volume right now is only at 45.
We'll turn it up a little bit because you
went down way too low.
You're not the issue.
Testing.
No, it's
testing.
coming from. Here, let me mute and see if it comes from. Say something.
Hello?
Something.
Hello? Yeah, see, now it sounds fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I say something now, there's a little bit of an echo, but not nearly as bad.
How about now?
I think we're good. Oh, never mind. I'm echoing on your end now.
All right, then let me
It sounds like someone has the tab open.
Yeah, well, I'm on a phone, so it's never going to be me.
Hold on, let me try this. For me. All right, that is closed.
There we go.
Whoa. There we go.
Are we good now?
Hurry,
I
pig.
think so.
Let's ask Chet.
Let's go one at a time. Willie, say yo
Very
mama.
loud. Hold on. Let me turn my
Dago,
shit.
say yo mama.
Yo, mama.
There you go.
Yo, mama.
There we go. I think we're good.
Not too bad.
So yeah. Either way, I thought it was very interesting that her background is like a lot of CPS stuff and, child advocacy and parental rights and stuff like that. And then this guy comes from the background of like security, which is weird. But there's something here. I'll show it to you guys. So when I was, just doing my little, just a little background search, I guess you could say, on, what this guy does and his the Saxton lady here. So we have the affidavit for criminal conspiracy. So this is in the state of Illinois, where he is literally representing this mother and her children. And the mother here, Heather Louise Bendel, is the one who filed this affidavit for criminal conspiracy with Tanner, right? Tanawa Downey here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It has his name up here. Can you? Oh, maybe I need to make it bigger.
Take down the thing you have on screen, Annie, real quick. The comment on screen. Pull that down.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wait.
Hey,
Stupid
guys.
banner. Let me get the banner off.
I'm dead.
There you go.
Okay.
You're good.
There we go. Let me make this bigger. So I'll make sure I link it too. It is a Google Drive that she shared on her Facebook. I did not get this from, I'm not sharing something I'm not supposed to have, is basically what I'm telling you guys. This is a Google Doc she shared to her own Facebook. So she basically signed her name to this affidavit for criminal conspiracy. This out of Illinois. She is saying on or about October 13th, 2020, a person portraying themselves as a judicial officer for Lake County, state of Illinois, did in their official capacity conspire by and between a person portraying themselves as an agent of the state for Lake County, state of Illinois. In their official capacity, a person portraying themselves as a law enforcement officer for the prosecuting attorney in Lake County, state of Illinois, in their official capacity to deprive Heather Louise Bendel, the victim, of rights secured by the Constitution for the United States of America and incorporated by the United States Supreme Court in Roberts v. United States, when they interfered with the familial unit's right of intimate association when the child was not returned to the care of their familial unit. So they interfered with the familial unit's right of intimate association, parental alienation, interfering with your parental rights, alienating you from your child. Wow. And according to them, it was the prosecuting attorney and someone acting or portraying themselves as a agent of the state. And for the prosecution, they conspired with each other to do this, to take her children.
And they really weren't, they didn't work for the state then, for real?
No, they do. They do. It was the prosecuting attorney and an officer. I think they employed a CPS agent or something like that who was acting on behalf of the state. Right.
Gotcha.
So it's really interesting. I'll link this for everybody. I just wanted to show you. It's 10 pages, but it goes through and she signed her name. So it's for her up here. She's the first one. The rest are her kids. Right. And I'm not gonna, I'm not reading the kids' names, but it basically says here deprivation of rights under the color of law, which is what he was just talking about with what we got to. Right. That's exactly what he was talking about. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. That's criminal. It's criminal to do that. A prosecutor cannot do that.
Well,
That's a crime.
so this sounds like somebody was friends with somebody
Look
in a
at
high
this.
position.
Number 2, conspiracy to deprive of rights. Number 3, kidnapping.
Yes.
Kidnapping. So this, affidavit here for criminal conspiracy, like this is no joke. In the state of Illinois, this guy's going after the prosecuting attorney and an agent of the state working on behalf of the prosecuting attorney that literally
Then you go after Bill.
conspired to take this woman's children.
Not to interrupt you, I don't mean to, but this reminds me of, did you see the case where this went down the same way? You know who John Walsh is, right, Annie?
Yes.
His daughter, Megan.
Oh, yep.
Did you see what he did with her and her kids? Same thing. He was friends with higher ups because of who he was and got them to do what he wanted and took her kids from her because she didn't want, initially didn't want her kids to be around him and her mother because of things that went on in her, her childhood and stuff. She wasn't comfortable and went and took advantage of their power. And here we are. So,
wow. No shit.
And it happens to everybody. It's all over the place.
Well, either way, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I put the link in chat for people if you guys want that Google Doc. I put the link there.
Yes, definitely.
What's going on?
So now, I know last night the stream was a little messed up and everything got messed up. Maybe Dago, you missed last night. Maybe we can get your thoughts on whether or not you think,
sure.
Do you think Ann Taylor has done everything she could possibly do to represent her client to the best of her ability? Or do you think that there's other things that she should have and could have been doing so it didn't get to this point?
Don't say nothing, Willie Will.
She knows my opinion.
I know. Well, okay. I'm kind of 50-50 with that.
50-50.
I think if she would have approached things differently earlier on in the case in a different way, maybe she would have had. Here's the thing though. I'm kind of like torn on this, okay? I think she's done
saved his life.
I think she's done a lot in one aspect, but I think she could have done better in another. Now, I say that other half only because, well, with some doubt, because we don't know 100% what Ann deals with in the background. Okay, that's the only thing I'm saying is like if there's something else going on, if they're getting some kind of threats or she's getting like things like that.
Well, then tell the court.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did do that, but to what extent are they? Okay.
Well, she said that there were threats to not only her and her staff, but the court staff and Mr. Kohberger and his family.
Right. So I wondered when I heard that, if somebody's really truly threatening her and her family or whatever, did she feel compelled to have to back down? Was it that serious? We don't know. That's the thing. But I feel like I still think if she would have approached the case differently earlier on, it may have been a little different. That's the only way I can describe how I feel about it.
She's too nice.
Do you think that
I don't think so, Chris.
do you think that she's
Wednesday
potentially attempting to, do you think that what she was doing all along, because I realized that the last few hearings, especially when it came to getting things on the record, she made it a point more than once to let the court know she wanted to get it on record and preserve the record, and that she was arguing it as a due process violation.
Yes.
So do you think that that's kind of what she's been doing all along, laying the groundwork for constitutional and due process violations?
I kind of said that last week after the plea hearing. A couple of days went by. We talked a little bit and bounced our anger off of each other and stuff like that. And then was thinking about, I was talking to my wife about it actually, and she goes, maybe that's what she's been doing, is she's letting this whole thing, like you said, laying groundwork. I mentioned, I said, is she gonna pull like everything out and throw it all out on the table and say, this is what's been going on around here, and I cannot work with this. I cannot work against this. I have nothing to stand on if you guys are allowing this stuff to happen. In a sense,
Right.
you know, exposing the state and the things that go on possibly. So yeah, I can think that's what I think the bigger plan might be. So yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you know, I've been thinking like Sarge said something that made me think last night. You know, get him. Listen, Brian, take this plea because we got to get this shit out of this fucking court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, they got to get
But-
away from that, and they gotta bounce up. Exactly.
I mean, it's an option, right? I guess it's probably
It's
slim chance. Like I look at it as if you were going to file something with the Supreme Court, or even like I feel like obviously everybody would lose their minds if they waited till the last minute and withdrew the plea.
mm-hmm.
You know, like I did wonder even when the plea first happened and we watched that hearing. I'm like, you know, maybe the plan was to let them lay out their case, like lay out it
But
with
why doesn't
nothing.
but
you
why
know,
doesn't
and then
every
you come
defense
back and
do
withdraw
that?
your plea? But that's something, right? It's a tactic that isn't. I don't think they're going to withdraw the plea, but I guess the potential is always there, right?
I want to know the capacity it could be used against him if he was to withdraw the plea. That's what I want to know. I want to know how. Like, I want to know what the prosecution could say.
They can use every word he said in the plea against him, Willie.
Really?
Every word they can
Yeah,
use.
hello.
Okay. That's what I figured, and that's why you know, it's like even if he withdraws it, judge still has to accept it, and it's going to hurt him.
All they're going to do is
So what the hell is the point of it? You know?
they're going to turn around and say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the man pled guilty to this. He pled guilty to this. He pled guilty to that. When the judge asked him this, and that, hey, Lana, what's happening, sis? And that's exactly what they'll use against them. So at that point, it reminds me kind of it's not the same, but you know, the prosecution used the whole Richard Allen when he confessed, that kind of thing. They're going to use that in that aspect, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you both probably think it's a 0% chance that Hitler sets aside the plea, right?
Big zero, big zero.
He didn't even make Brian, like nobody even made Brian prove he did it. So like, you know, they're just trying to move this shit along.
That's what disturbed me, is they didn't put anything attached to this whatsoever, where you got to explain yourself, you got to explain this, that, anything. It's just
Especially when it's supposedly, remember when that news, you know, the news broke or whatever, that they had a search party out looking for the murder weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make him take you to it.
Yeah.
Since
Agreed.
he knows where it is, supposedly.
I think that should be mandatory in all these cases. If there's a plea that's put on the table, it should have that included, mandatory, period.
It usually is. But this case is different. They don't, you know, they don't ask the parents their opinions. They don't make them prove it. Nah.
Well, just in this case, this case, that's why it's so weird, and everybody's looking at it like
this case that he was carrying or whatever. Where is it?
Whatever it was, the container, whatever the hell that was.
How'd you take a picture that very same morning, Brian, and not have any swelling on your hand or your face or nothing? How?
Because he wasn't there.
That's my opinion. But he did it by himself. So is that what he wanted? Like maybe he wanted to take credit to do this impossible crime. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. What'd you say, Annie? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, he said he was there. I know everybody. I know people don't believe him, and I get it. If you're going with the angle that okay, get him to take the plea so we can get this shit out of this fucking court and whatever. But I feel like if you're going to do that, you wouldn't also want that plea to have stipulations in it that you're waiving.
Mm-hmm.
You're right to appeal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
that's crazy.
He deadlocked himself.
There should be different stipulations in there. You know,
that's, I mean, it was an uphill battle for the prosecution. Now he just made it an uphill battle for himself. If this were to even get to trial,
he deadlocked himself. There's nothing. I mean, he has options. Hitler even said that, but not without a lot of work. Okay, it's not like you can just walk in and go, okay, here's what we're doing, boom, boom, boom. No, not now. You deadlocked yourself, dude. Why? You gave yourself no open doors. You gave yourself no escape route, no nothing. It's done.
Discovery number 24, request number 24, in my opinion.
Well, this was done before they even got that, Willie. This was already in play before they got that. Right. So think about that, though.
So then 23, dude, something that like, so why is she continuing to still ask for shit and yada yada? Like, you know,
well, the prosecution said themselves,
setting up hearings.
There were things that were already put in place that they just have to follow through with what they already said that they were going to do. It's nothing new, though.
Well, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was kind of just sitting there looking at like the docket and the case summary, and I'm like looking at the dates, and I was like, interesting. I noticed that like before all this happened, that's when the defense was putting in all of these requests to inspect specific pieces of discovery, things like that. There's a part of me that wonders if maybe either, you know, they weren't granted something that they, you know, really needed to be able to look at, or like, for example, if they wanted to inspect and or do independent examination on the unknown DNA, but your resource judge doesn't grant you the 20, 30 grand or whatever it's going to cost to figure out that DNA, right?
Right.
You know, I'm wondering if after not only losing the Franks and losing the motions to suppress and losing on their motions in limine and their motion to continue, and were they allowed to inspect the evidence that they were seeking to inspect and independently, you know, do whatever they were going to do to it? Alternate suspects, everything.
Yeah, she got it.
If you can't get anything in, you're not allowed to bring any of these arguments in, and you're not even allowed to inspect certain pieces of evidence and or test them because your resource judge isn't going to give you the 20, 30 grand you need to run that DNA. I mean, it's not like they can just send the unknown DNA to be tested. Someone has to pay for that. Usually you go to your resource judge for that funding.
That's the thing, is there was a lot of things requested that she didn't receive. That's another thing I was thinking about too. That's a good point, Annie. You know,
she also never went to a resource judge for extra like death penalty paralegals or anything like that to help her go through. She's saying over and over again that she can't get through the discovery. This discovery is a shit show. Discovery is a dumpster fire. Okay, well then why haven't you brought on people to help you go through it?
That's what I was getting ready to ask you next.
Judge?
Yes,
instead of just bitching about it.
That was my next question, because they did throw it up in that one hearing we were watching. I can't remember which one it was exactly, but that was brought up multiple times. And I'm not calling her a whiner. I'm just saying she was constantly saying, I can't do that. I know you are. And he said, well, let us know what you need. In, you know, his words, I'm not saying, or my words, I'm not saying that's what he said, but basically just give us what, you know, let us know what we need to do. And she never did it. I don't understand that. You know, that's what I was getting ready to ask you next. And I was wondering if I missed that. Did I miss her doing that, putting forth a motion to ask for that help or any of that? But I looked back and didn't see anything. So
why didn't Taylor help the state build their case in the beginning?
What do you mean?
Why did Ann Taylor assist with helping the state's case in the beginning of this whole shit show?
In what way?
In the way of
getting in the way of Speedy.
Oh, that, yeah. No, that's a good question. I've been asking that again since we talked about that the other day. Was that him? You know, did she say this is what you can do, and he said, well, I want to do it this way or that way, or did she say this is what I think you should do, Brian?
I just think it's crazy because, like, dude, if I've never been to jail, right, I want to get out as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking my lawyer, listen, if we go to the Speedy, and I know I didn't do this shit, I just hopped on a plane to fly back here and waive my right to extradition because I did not do this. They don't have nothing on me. Let's take it to court in 6 weeks.
I'm going to tell you what. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I know what you mean. I'm sorry, I didn't.
You know what I mean?
No,
unless your lawyer's telling you it's not a good idea. But if they don't have shit, why not?
I don't think we'd be sitting here right now if he wouldn't have waived that and he'd have went to trial in the beginning like he should have. They wouldn't have had
Or the
time
preliminary.
any of it, right? We wouldn't be having this conversation. He probably would not be sitting in jail right now.
Absolutely not.
Well, Clifton says they were forced to give up Speedy because of the secret grand jury. Right. That's what I was getting at last night. And Taylor said Brian Kohberger was forced to choose between two rights. Right.
Yeah, but didn't that happen?
It was
Didn't he have the
waived
option
I thought
before
that-
that?
I thought that was 6 months in.
That happened in
Yeah,
April
the
and
secret
May,
grand
right?
jury.
He
this is what I'm
was
saying.
forced to waive his preliminary hearing because of the grand jury. Where did the speedy trial come in?
Exactly. We're talking about speedy
What?
trial here. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I
The secret
thought, yeah.
grand jury came way later.
It's like, what
did
the
it
hell are you
not?
agreeing to?
Yeah, that was one. I was going to say you
I'm
confused me
not
there for a
agreeing
minute.
to anything. I was just
Oh,
reading.
I
Clifton's
thought you were
comment.
like, yeah.
No, that was months afterwards.
No,
That
I'm just reading
Yeah,
Clifton's
yeah.
comment.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I do remember Ann arguing that he was forced to choose between two rights.
right.
And that's
Mhm.
what I was saying last night. Like, I think even if I was forced to choose between two rights, if I know you're my lawyer, you put in your first discovery request, state comes back and says, sorry, we don't have nothing to give you, right?
Mhm.
Sorry, we don't have any discovery to turn over. At that point, I'm saying, oh shit, well, we ain't waiving Speedy then.
Right?
Because if you don't have any discovery to give me, what the fuck are you bringing to court then?
And
See,
think
that-
about at that time what they didn't have.
That's what I'm talking about early
Right.
on when I said if she'd approached things differently early on, like she needed to stand up and start screaming right away and take hold of this. It's almost like
Yeah.
she didn't grab a hold of the case and take control when she was supposed to, and it got out of her hands, and here we are. If she would have done that in the beginning, I feel like I agree with you on that one, Willie. That would have been we'd have been in a different position right now, I think.
Like, I just don't know how he would if they didn't waive Speedy. I don't even think he'd still be sitting
No,
in jail. He wouldn't even be in Idaho.
I agree with you right there. That I don't think this would be a case anymore.
Yeah.
It would have been done and over already, and they would have shown. Not that they'd have shown who did it, but I don't think they could have proven at that
Like, I'm
point.
not even joking you. My lawyer comes to me and says, listen, they're not giving us any discovery. They have nothing, right? We put in
I'm
our
saying, get me the
discovery
fuck out of
request.
here.
They
Case
haven't
dismissed.
returned any. I'm saying you get me in front of a judge immediately. You get
Yep.
me in front of someone immediately.
Absolutely.
Case dismissed. End of story. That should have been what happened then. And I don't know what the plan was, why she was lacking there. I don't know what it was, but
I don't know, but it sounds like all her plans suck.
well,
Just
I,
saying.
I believed in her. And I looked at her history, and it was very strong. And I said, this is a very good attorney, and I think
It
this
was
is
nice to look at.
That's not what I was meaning, though.
I'm just saying, in my,
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I got you there. But what I'm saying though is like I was expecting more from her in an earlier time, and I was like, okay, it's coming. Okay, it's gonna be coming.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be coming, and nothing happened. And
Because
it's like,
everybody's coming to me like, Willie, shoot the best in the nation, and you gotta shoot the best. And I'm like, where is his best?
right.
Well,
Is it gonna come out?
Listen, she did her job, right? Technically, death penalty certified attorney. What was
Yeah.
her job?
She got the death penalty
In all
thrown on her
reality, what was her job? And what she's been trying to do this entire time was get that damn death penalty removed.
Yep.
Same thing all public defenders try to make you do.
So,
Well, a lot of
you
them
know,
won't get that done. So, yeah, but at what cost, though, Annie? At what
Exactly.
cost for her job?
I'm just saying, technically, I
No.
know that.
And I saw somebody respond. He's not deadlocked. He's not deadlocked. I know that you're right. He does have options, but not the options he should have right now. That's what I was saying. So
I'm just saying that I just hope he withdraws his plea because he did not do this the way that he let Bill stand up and tell him. So withdraw your plea, dude. You're lying.
Well, that's kind of why I'm under the impression here, like, what is going to happen down the road? Like, let's let this play out, right? Okay?
Right.
Let's let this play out for a second. We all know that the state's theory of how this crime occurred is bullshit. And that is by the state's own evidence. That is by what is in the court docket. These people weren't asleep. The roommates were not asleep. We know that. The forensic record and the court will show that. It's all there, right? So what then happens when someone takes a plea and is forced to semi-confess to a crime that even if they were involved in it, the way the state is saying that it all went down is untrue? How does the court accept that if the court knows it's not true? Because the court would know what Bill is saying is not true.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
I don't
I'm not a
understand what's
lawyer.
going
I don't
on.
know shit. Right. You know, I always say that to your Dago. I know this is your first time here. I'm no lawyer. I don't know shit. I'm just asking questions.
I know.
How does
I
this
know.
play out down the road when someone is forced to accept a plea regarding a crime, but the way that it's said the crime occurred is untrue?
Right.
Yeah,
What happens down the road?
Well, yeah. See,
I guess nothing.
okay, let me ask this for anybody that knows. I know Lana knows, and I know you know some of this stuff. I don't know a lot of the court stipulations, but are there certain stipulations to get something thrown up above, you know, to the Supreme Court? Are there certain things that have to go down before it'll get bounced up that way? And is that what this is all about? Is that this had to go a certain direction with certain speculations with it, or not speculations, but stipulations before it could possibly get bounced up there? That's what I'm wondering. Is that what this is about?
I thought they
I
only
mean,
look
I
at a
don't
small
know.
percent.
Yeah. I was
That
just
plea
kind
cannot
of,
be.
you know, thinking about it, like, what happens down the road? Like, what court would overturn Hitler even allowing and accepting the plea, especially if Hitler knows what the state is saying isn't fucking true?
Hmm.
That's it right there. That's what I mean.
Yeah, the state told them it wasn't true.
So that would that be considered judicial misconduct then? And
I
if
think
that's
it
the
would
case,
be what this guy that we just listened to, Tanner Downing here, is talking about. When you
yeah,
violate someone's rights on purpose, under the color of law, whatever he
and
called it.
that's what it looks like.
I mean, I don't
And
know,
and if that's the case, then that would be what I would imagine is when the Supreme Court can step in, you know. But I don't. Do they have to be brought in? Do they have to be presented this is what's going on here by somebody, or did they just automatically step in and take over themselves? That's what I don't understand about these things. But yeah, that's exactly what you
Elaine.
just said.
Hi, Elaine. How you doing? Elaine says if the court is corrupt, I can see them accepting a bad plea. Agree,
Right.
darling. I agree, but what I'm asking is what happens after a corrupt court accepts a bad plea? Where does the defendant go with that? What
Who takes
court do
charge
you
of
go
that?
to after that and say, hey, can you take a little peeky poo at my case over here? Because this corrupt ass court got me to take this bullshit plea. They accepted it. I guess the point I'm getting at is Hitler shouldn't be accepting the plea if Hitler
He didn't-
knows the state's
Yeah.
theory is bullshit.
Well, considering here we go. Thank you for saying that. That's a good lead off to what I was getting ready to say. We already know they have, quote unquote, I don't believe that they do at this. I don't know that they do, but the investigation into the leaking and all that's going on. Okay, so we know that that's going on within this case. There was already something else that was brought about. Not that he acknowledged it, but Ray made a statement in his affidavit stating that he believes that there's something bigger going on here that needs to be looked into. It was never acknowledged. In fact, Hitler called an expert a conspiracy theorist. I don't think that should be allowed, but whatever. That's my opinion. So all these things going on, and then Hitler takes the plea anyway, without even taking it under advisement. He didn't even think twice on it. It was boom. It was done
Yeah,
as he
if you
read
didn't
it.
want to be there in the first place, of course you're going to accept it.
So that all of that in a whole, in my opinion, absolutely is judicial misconduct, and they should look at it and say, how did you accept this plea? How? With everything going on in this case right now, how and why did you accept this plea?
Mm-hmm.
That's what should be being looked at right now.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So who's going to come, who from higher up on yonder?
Right. That was my question. How does it get there? Right.
Right. Like, how do we make it so that, because listen, like I've always said, I have no idea if Brian's innocent or guilty. What I
Right.
do know is that even if he's involved, even if he's pled guilty, if the fact of the matter is the state's version of how this crime went down is not correct.
Nope.
So therefore, right, the plea should not be accepted by the court
Right.
because the court just listened to the state lay out a
Bullshit.
fictitious version of events.
100%. And still approved it. Right. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. So who knows in here who is in charge of saying, hey, that ain't gonna fly. We need to
I
take
just feel like it would be up to, once he takes his sentencing, he's going to have to literally go before that. He will have to try to get his case heard by the Supreme Court or get people like this Tanner Downing fella. You know what I mean? This is what he's going to have to do. Literally, is
But then
rely
at that
on people
point,
like,
at that point, do they let him out, or does he get a trial?
no, he ain't getting out. I mean, he's still going to have to keep his fingers and toes crossed that the Supreme Court even takes up his case.
Yeah, but I'm saying if the Supreme Court takes up his case and they find whatever, does he then get a trial, or does he walk?
I mean, they could overturn. Technically, they could. Oh, it depends how it's argued, right?
I mean,
Wrongfully
I
arrested,
still think there's a process. They wouldn't let him walk.
Violate his rights to arrest him, like from jump.
Well,
That's all
different,
going to be determined on exactly what rights were violated and when. Because if you violated his right from jump and then just continued to violate the rights all the way up to plea, I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
I guess I'm asking because it's like, why go through all that just to get a trial when you were fucking a month or two away from a trial?
Well, she's
and
right.
That's what I mean. Technically, you're in no better position, even if you were to go to SCOTUS. I mean, other than, okay, fine, Supreme Court agrees your rights were violated. We have a due process violation, and they overturn your conviction. The state can still retry you, is my understanding, even if the Supreme Court were to overturn it.
And you haven't even gone to trial, so of course they're going to try you. Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck?
They could, well, I don't know, because you pled, but then this is what I mean. I don't know. Didn't Hitler say, I'm no lawyer, I don't know shit, but didn't Hitler say something in court too about, like, you understand that should you decide to withdraw your plea, the fact that you just said yes and guilty could be used against you later.
Yeah.
If you decide to go to trial or whatever.
But like you said, though, if they take it all the way back to Jump Street when he was first arrested and that was violated, which we know it was, the violation started then, that would have to be a complete, everything would have to start all over, I would think.
Well, I know once you file with the Supreme Court, like technically if he was to file now, anything with the Supreme Court regarding this case, I think it would pause everything happening. Don't quote me. I don't know. Do your own research. I don't know shit. But I think it would like pause whatever's going on right now. But
yeah, that's true.
I have heard people throw it out there that what they're doing is so that it's an appellate issue down the road. So even though they won't be able to appeal his sentencing and his plea in the state of Idaho, they can still appeal what was done.
Somebody needs to find out what Brian did. Like somebody needs to find out what Brian is thinking, because like if Brian like wants to do all this, like you know what I mean, then they're not going to fight for him, right? If Brian wanted the plea. Now, if we're saying that Brian was forced to take this plea, or so on and so forth, where does that lie? Like, is that because of Anne, or is that because of threats? What are we saying?
We don't know. That's the whole thing.
I have no idea.
Nobody knows.
Threats.
Well, no, I know you were talking earlier about Anne being threatened. So, I mean, like, my thing is like, it'd be nice to know how Brian feels.
Something with the court, telling the court, that they've been getting threats not only to her and her staff, but Brian, his family, and the court staff. People have been threatening the court staff. Ashley Banfield was like, Holy shit, people. Don't threaten the court staff. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she wants
But the
people
way that
to.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
it is with this plea, he is agreeing not to appeal his sentencing
Right.
or the plea, right? That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that he still can't go to the Supreme Court and ask the Supreme Court to take a look at what was done in this case by the prosecution and the court
Yeah.
to see if they violated his rights, or if did it start with the state? How many rights were violated and for how long? When did it start?
Yeah.
With all everything that's gone on, I think it started at the arrest. I'll be honest with you. The way the arrest was the way it happened, and then from there on, they're forward the Dateline thing and all the other stuff that was put out there that should have never been even brought into a conversation. Like, his rights have been violated every direction you look. So I can't imagine how anybody would not look at this in a higher court. No. Truly.
Like, I'm of the opinion they definitely should have been given a full Franks.
Oh yeah.
Part of me wonders if a higher court were to look at Hippler's decision to deny them the Franks, if a higher court would consider that, would look at it as a due process violation, because I believe they met the burden there big time. I know Hippler made up all kinds of excuses for the officers and their collective affidavit, their living document that they all just attached their names to whenever they felt like it. And
right.
no one has to be responsible when it's just a collaborative affidavit that's a living document that everyone, even though it's Brett Payne's name on it, Brett Payne was fully aware that other people were attaching their names to it as well.
Right.
Assigning their names to his work and stuff. And he's like, yeah, no, that's just how we did it. And they did it that way so that no one has to take responsibility. It was a collaborative effort. So who do you blame except the whole group? You can't go after one specific individual because, well, it was just collaborative.
Yeah. You gotta go after all of them, but that's probably not gonna happen. I don't know. I wish he would have went and fought.
I mean,
so what do you think we're looking forward to here on Wednesday? What do you think he's going to have to do any form of elocution? Do you think the court is going to ask him questions to, ensure he is in fact guilty of the crime he's pleading to?
I think they may. Well, I know I can almost guarantee you that the what do you call those? The witness, or no, the
or the victim.
The impact, the impact statements. That's going to be brought up in the impact statements. I can almost guarantee. Is the court going to approach it themselves? I don't know. I don't think Brian's going to say a word. Personally, I don't. I don't think he's going to say anything unless he's forced to.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can do that, though. If he chooses to just sit there silently and listen, he didn't even have to listen. Actually, they give him earplugs from time to time, I believe. So, I don't think he's going to say a word. That's just how I feel from it.
I'm not saying him say anything. You don't think that the judge prior to this hearing has spoken to both sides and wants, for the record? I find it very hard to believe he's just going to accept the plea with no form of elocution whatsoever.
But why would he do that before? Like, wouldn't he have done that before accepting the plea?
You can do it all the way up to sentencing.
Can do it all the way up to sentencing, and if the court decides that, I don't know why the judge wouldn't want to preserve the record, right, in that area and ensure.
Would it have been worked into the plea, Annie? Like, would that have been part of the language in the plea? Is it that's something that
I don't know, because they can do it all the way up until sentencing. It could be that, the judge wants some form of elocution to ensure that it's preserved in the record, that it doesn't come up later. Well, Your Honor, This judge here, he just accepted the plea and didn't even ask no fucking questions, didn't even make sure that this guy is actually the person who did it. This person who is, taking the plea. There should be certain, that's why we have allocution.
Right.
People have to give up certain information about the crime and or the weapon or whatever for the, so that it's preserved on the court record that this person isn't some innocent person pleading to something they didn't do.
Yeah. And they
But,
didn't.
I don't know.
I mean, I would think that should be something that should be done. He didn't mention it at all in the last hearing that it was coming or that it would be done. I don't know. So,
I just
maybe
feel like if you're a judge worth your salt, you're going to let the defense team know that there needs to be some form of allocution given prior to sentencing. And if the defendant and his team are not willing to provide that allocution, you set aside that plea and take them to trial.
Right. And especially knowing how the families reacted to this, and he has seen that. I would imagine that he would say, okay, we need to do something here for them at that point. And yeah, I would expect it. Will it happen though? I don't know.
You get what I'm saying though, right? If you're a judge and you're worth your salt.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely should be doing something like that. He should be making, like I said,
unless he's in on it,
telling the defense, look, your client needs to do something here. He needs to give something. We took the death penalty off the table. We gave him the plea. Now he needs to step up and say, hey, this is what happened, when it happened. This is what I did, whatever. That absolutely, you're right. If the judge is worth anything, he should do that. Will he do it? I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking about Hitler here.
Well, I just feel like most judges, they definitely don't want it to be where at some point later on, this defendant could come back and claim like, see, they did this, this, and this. They violated my rights. This guy just took my plea. Like, he didn't even ask me any information. The court didn't even want to know, like, for certain. They just took it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I feel like personally, I'd want it. And if the person didn't want to give it to me, I'd say, well, then we're going to trial and I'm not accepting your plea because I'm going to make sure that there isn't going to be something down the road here.
Right.
Yeah, but Hitler. He don't want to be there.
Maury just said that Hitler has no power to force any allocation or ask for anything. Only the prosecution does in the agreement contract and sign and done. So that's interesting.
I'm not saying that the court can force it. That's not what I said. I said the court could request it.
Yeah.
The court could absolutely tell the defense, we are going to need some form of allocution here before I sentence him, for the public, for the families, for the victims who are still alive, the survivors. Do you understand?
Yep.
He could definitely let the defense know we're going to need something. If he's not willing to do it, I'm going to set aside this plea and we're going to trial. Because I'm covering my own ass here, and I'm not going to leave it open-ended for someone to be able to come back later.
That's a good point. That's a good way to put it, too.
It's not going to happen.
But again, this is
Well,
Idaho.
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I was just throwing it out there that,
No, that would be a good way to do it, though. It's a perfect way to leverage that.
Like to cover your, I don't know. I'd kind of want that. I'd want that, security for myself, just to make sure that, like, okay, we're going to make sure that before we sentence this person to 4 consecutive life sentences, there's a few things we definitely need to know.
Right.
The families are, entitled to that and whatnot. And the public has a right to know too. We have a right to know what's going on in our courts. We have a right to know what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. I do agree.
So you're going to start putting in some FOIAs now that the gag has been lifted and we got docs or anything coming soon?
I'm not. No, because he even said, he goes, anybody that don't even bother putting in FOIAs because they'll be denied. So
no, you got to FOIA the feds. You got to FOIA the FBI for everything that they did in this case. Because the fact of the matter is they used all of our money, our federal taxpayer dollars,
Oh
for their
yeah,
$1 million vehicle to track them around the country, and never mind
Demo-
however many other
demolition of
hundreds
the
of
house.
thousands of dollars for their cell site simulators and all this bullshit.
Yeah, I never
So
thought
yeah,
that.
if anybody owes us an explanation as to what they did in this case, it's the FBI. All the
Yeah.
IGG shit, the phone stuff.
Everything. I still think they were running the case. I think that Payne was just a figurehead, truly. But again, that's just an opinion. So no, yeah, I didn't think about that about FOIA and the feds instead of the state. That's a good point. I think it needs to be
Well,
done.
you
Then
know, I
yeah,
always thought it was funny when I heard people complaining about what's it cost the state of Idaho, to try Brian Kohberger, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, you should be asking yourself, how much fucking money did the FBI spend to investigate Kohberger for the state of Idaho?
right.
So you should be asking yourself.
Great question. Because I can
The
gather that
$1 million
it's quite a
vehicle
bit.
alone, they had for like 2 weeks, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's
Yes,
not even
ma'am.
including anything else. Like, how much do you think it cost them for IGG? What they put in bill for like 10 grand, right?
And then I
Like,
think somewhere
it's
along
just,
the lines, wasn't there a thing where they were talking about on the news how they just were given more money for this?
yeah.
I can't remember how much it was exactly at some point, like halfway through or something. It was a lot. And they were already handed over so much. It's not even like I can't even remember the numbers, but like I said, it's a lot. So
And they brought in the special whoever that prosecutor is.
Josh, yeah, they brought him in. How much did that cost? I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Mhm.
And supposedly they were bringing on a special prosecutor on top of that to look into the leaks, if that
Mhm.
happened.
Uh,
So that's all extra money, folks.
It's just wild when you think about it, like the FBI is doing all of this work in the background and using their little super secret back doors and
Mhm.
whatever else they're doing. And, him taking the plea, basically everything that the FBI did with their super secret,
yeah,
stuff,
the FBI is happy as fuck.
yeah, that stays hidden.
But now they can say
All the state stuff gets to stay. The state doesn't have to prove their case.
right.
So who actually wins here, besides the state and the FBI?
Whoever the hell they're protecting.
Well, they're gonna say we saved all this money not having a trial now, so that makes up for it, right? Nope. Nope.
Like, it's just wild to me that you can spend millions of taxpayer dollars on this little backdoor super secret investigation that you're doing, and you think and you don't have to show what you did.
Nothing. Yeah,
Know what I mean?
that is
Yeah.
sad. Yeah, I mean, truly, it's like going and buying a new car and never getting to drive it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Here's all that. There's for $30,000, and I'm buying a new car, but I'm not allowed to drive it ever.
It's just wild.
It
That
really is.
$1 million vehicle that they used for weeks to like track him, we paid for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And they asked for our help and gave us the wrong fucking car to look for. That pisses me off still.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The expert.
When they knew the right car, they knew the right year, and they still told us the wrong year. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Wasting our fucking time like that.
Exactly.
Well, like, I could understand the state of Idaho saying that technically they're only obligated to their citizens. They don't know us shit. We don't live there.
Yeah,
right.
but the feds do. That's
But
different
the
with the feds.
feds, that's
Right.
a different story. The FBI,
He was driving across the
no.
country.
They owe it
Right.
to everybody.
That's right. And that's why I was saying, like, I know everybody's going to go ham putting out all these FOIAs to,
Oh, yeah. They're
prosecutor's
gonna get
office,
back.
and, right, WSU and Idaho University and all this shit. But really, if you're going to put out FOIAs, start at the FBI and request every single thing that they did in this case related to Brian Kohberger, from their cell site simulators to their $1 million. Maybe that is the cell site simulator. I don't even fucking know.
Could be.
Whatever the $1 million vehicle is that they used, IGG, How much did it cost you for whatever fiddly fuck you did with this DNA? And by the way, many in the DNA community would like to know, FBI, exactly how did you double? How did you double?
Yep.
Because there are DNA experts out there that don't understand how you did that. So maybe you could explain.
Yeah.
How did you double the profile?
You doubled that profile, but you didn't have enough for the rest of these profiles. How'd that work out? That's interesting.
I mean, there's just so many things that the FBI should have to explain that they did step by step by step because they used our money to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the gag order's lifted, correct?
Yeah. Well, yes, it's lifted, but everything's not unsealed yet. So
Yeah, but it's just amazing how everybody's still fucking is shut down.
well,
Steve's been talking, and I'm here for it.
But he's always been talking.
That's
Well,
gonna
I know.
it's gonna get deeper
Listen,
too.
it's not like he was ever told he couldn't talk. But
Yeah,
you
but
know,
now
there
it's
were- I
like,
think there were certain things. Go
He's
ahead.
talking. He's talking out of anger now.
yeah. Yeah, but to hear that he doesn't know how his own daughter died, like, and they see him, you know, talking to 2-3 different news outlets every day, are they gonna like tell him what actually happened?
No, they don't have to tell him anything.
That's so screwed up, dude. How do you not
It is.
tell a father what happened to his daughter?
Here's the question you should be asking, Willie. Why? Why won't they tell him?
But that's what I mean. What are they? Yeah, I've said they've been protecting somebody or something this whole time. Obviously,
That's it right there. Why will you not tell the parents of this child? Sorry, she wasn't a child, but that's their child. Why will you not tell this person's parents how she died? And why are you covering that up? Why are you holding that back from them? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be looked at right now. That's what needs to be challenged, and why. And they need to explain that, in my opinion.
Yep. I agree.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like,
And then, like, what? Are like the other 3 parents just like okay with not knowing how their kid died?
right. Well, see,
Like,
part of me wonders if they don't know. Okay,
That's
so
probably the truth.
Steve said her skull was what?
There was
it was damaged.
yes. Let's not get into this again, you two.
Yeah.
There was damage to the back. There was subdural hematomas. There was a broken nose. There was internal bleeding. There was suffocation or asphyxiational injuries, which I believe the windpipe was crushed. Based on my experience in the medical field, things like there was a lot done to
But
one
now the
one victim.
problem, well, here's the problem, though. Because when Steve says things like this, and believe
Right.
me, I am not knocking him in any way. I'm just pointing out, though, that when he says things like this, what he is alluding to, whether it's intentional or not, is that this could not have been done in 7 minutes.
By one
And
person.
obviously, there's more than one person there.
Yes, ma'am.
So
That's
it's
interesting.
really interesting to me to hear him almost, to me, it's almost like he was promised something by the state, like he was promised a full,
I said
complete,
that.
gonna lay it out for you step by step and show you that it's him and only him. And we got the guy, and they aren't giving him that, and he's pissed.
That's exactly what he said, Annie and Willie. Isn't that what I said last week? That
Yeah.
they told him, and he said this more than once, Annie, that we promised you, Steve, on a state and a federal level, this kid's not getting away with it. The guy's going down. There's going to be no deals, death penalty all the way. Boom, boom, boom. He was told that, and then here we are. So
it's just really interesting the dynamic there, where maybe he doesn't even He's saying it for a different reason, not
Yeah.
realizing that what he's saying is like literally debunking what the state just said.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's really interesting. I'll be right back. You guys keep talking. I'm going to mute and I'll be right back.
Yes, man. Yeah, that's what he said, though. I mean, and that's what has happened. And she's right, though. He is saying it without even realizing it for a different reason than what we're talking about. He's in a sense, he even said it that Brian should have to stand up and tell them that he did it on his own. And when he says that, I believe that he's saying that because he wants them to prove that he was by himself. Meaning, who else was there?
But the defense has already came forward and said there was multiple weapons used. So how the fuck? How, as a defense attorney, do you allow your client to plead guilty knowing there was multiple weapons? What did he do? Fucking double fist K-bar knives, and then he had the fucking case in his ass.
Not to mention that they stated that Xana and Ethan were killed at the same time.
Come on, bro.
And it's like he's not a ninja, okay?
Like I keep asking, what's one person doing as the other one's getting stabbed? Watching them?
Working on the other person.
Watching them?
I don't know.
No. Let's think about this. If Brian did this alone, and Brian's attacking Ethan, or Brian's attacking Kaylee or Maddie, either or, what's the other person doing? Fucking around?
Well, okay, I know.
Because they're not screaming because Dylan didn't hear shit.
But now we're all, but that's because I think now we were just told that they were gagged. And I believe that Maddie was passed out and Ethan possibly was passed out too.
He showed his hand pushed up against his, he really didn't say gagged. He didn't say, because a gag's not going to.
No. I know what you're saying. That's what I meant.
You know what I mean?
That's why I asked if I wondered if the knife sheath was used, shoved in somebody's mouth to keep them quiet. And maybe that's why it was left laying there. But yeah, Lana was right too. I believe Maddie was out.
Hey, Lana.
And was attacked. And I think that Ethan was probably passed out too, which would make it easier.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, I still don't believe dude did this by himself in that period of time.
Dude, Brian's not that guy, pal.
That's what I'm saying.
Remember that fucking Vine or whatever that was? You're not that guy, pal.
That's what I just thought.
He's not that dude.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought, Lana. Ethan was pretty trashed, guys. He had a lot, 4 times the legal limit. You ain't standing up, you ain't walking, you ain't nothing. So, and
he's not killing 4 people. And he's definitely not killing 4 people with a knife. And he's definitely not killing 4 people with a knife by himself in 6 minutes.
No.
It's not happening, dude.
Nope. And
Maddie, maybe.
We saw Maddie at the grub truck. She looked like she was pretty trounced too. Okay. She could barely walk straight up and down. So Maddie.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure she went home after they walked the dog or whatever and passed out. And based on what they said in the.
But hold on. They had a fucking meeting in somebody's bedroom about going back to the grub truck at a certain point in time, we heard, right?
Kaylee's bedroom. Yeah. At 2:00. Right.
All right. So, dude, in my mind, everybody's awake. I don't want to fucking hear anybody was asleep. Even Ethan. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit.
Well, they weren't even home, dude. They weren't home at that time yet.
Exactly. So they weren't fucking sleeping.
I don't know.
You know?
Well, I don't know about what anybody was doing. I just know that based on the docket, based on what's presented to the court, what we have on file so far, it would appear no one's actually really sleeping, and
right.
especially Dylan. I think there's a couple hours of a break, like with Bethany or whatever, but outside of that, it's like Dylan's nonstop. So this whole went to bed thing, a sleep thing is, we all know that's not true, which is why I was bringing up the point of if you're the judge in this case, and you know that what the state just got up and laid out as their case that they plan to present at trial had he not taken the plea, and you know that like 3 or 4 things that they just said aren't true, how are you allowing the acceptance of the plea when you know that with the state, a couple of the things they just said in open
But you
court
just said earlier, maybe they're doing this so the defense can see what the prosecution's
expose them.
Well, that's initially like what I thought.
So let me tell you something, dude. If you plead guilty, I'm just saying, if you plead guilty and I think you're doing it to fucking find out what my case is, I'll read the fucking PCA to you. And if you accept it, okay. You think the prosecution gives a shit? Because the judge sure don't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, what's the first thing he said? He said, I'd like to start off with I'd hate to start off with an untruth and say I'd like to be here, or whatever the fuck his smart ass said.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, I get it. I get it. Hitler didn't want the case from day one.
Yeah, so to his, so
What
to,
I'm
you know,
saying is that it in and of itself, literally from day one with this guy, it's been nothing but laying down the groundwork because you already knew from jump he was not going to let any fucking thing you do in.
I guess.
What if you already
So then
knew
why?
that
So
from
why?
jump?
So then why? Well, why
Because
is there
you're
no?
preserving the record. You're preserving the record to
Fuck that.
show
Ask him to
that
recuse
this
himself.
guy. I mean, I don't think
That
they
ain't gonna
could have
happen.
because they already
If Brian felt like he had no
already
shot from the
got-
beginning, then fucking ask the judge to step down.
He's not going to, because that'll make him look bad. Like he can't handle it. So he won't do that.
Makes who look bad?
Hitler.
Dude, would you rather ask a judge to recuse himself or plead fucking guilty to something he didn't do?
I would ask him to do it. That doesn't mean he'll do it. That's what I'm
I
saying.
understand, but at least it's worth a fucking shot.
I understand.
This is my life we're talking about. You know what I mean? He's not pleading to a fucking traffic ticket here. It's crazy, bro. It's just absolutely fucking insane that we can sit here and fucking bitch about how fucked up the FBI and the state's case were, and he pleads guilty to some bullshit. I don't understand it. But there's some plan that is going to come up down the road where even if he goes back to trial, this could all be used against him. It's a fucked up position to be in. Dude.
It depends on what the plan is, though, Willie. And like I said, if it goes back to trial, yes, it can be used against him. But if this thing is flipped upside down in the Supreme Court or something, like Andy said, going back to the arrest, even like this, he'll come out cleaner in the end of that situation.
Let me ask you a question.
Nothing but one big constitutional due process violation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From jump.
No shit. But if
That
his attorneys
is-
know that, then why are they letting him plead?
Because how else do you get his case out of this court?
I don't
Right, you
fucking
gotta
know.
get
Take it to trial and lose. At least he has
I mean,
fucking
yeah, you could.
appeals.
Yeah,
Still in the court,
I
though,
agree,
Willie.
Willie. I don't know
Huh?
what you're yelling about. I agree with you. He
I'm not
should
yelling
have
about
went
shit.
to
I'm
trial.
just pissed off that he pled guilty to something that is impossible.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. He took the plea. Now it's time to think about outside the box as to okay,
Here's
he
the
took this plea, so there's only a few reasons this is happening. There could only be a few reasons.
Because if we're all going to sit here and say there's multiple suspects, then that means that Brian knows names and he's not going to give up.
No,
I
well,
mean-
listen, though. Maybe this is the only way to get this to the Supreme Court, though, is what she's saying. Like, maybe you
I get
got to
it.
go through this
But
process.
why not? I get it, but why not plead 2 years ago? Why sit there in a fucking hole for 2.5 years and get all ready for trial and have all these fucking hearings and exhaust yourself just to plead guilty?
Well,
I mean, that's what makes me think there's something.
That's all.
The state coughed. I feel like it could be a couple of things. It could be
What?
that the state finally coughed up a piece of discovery that after the defense sees it is like, fuck, well, this is
how am I
indefensible.
going to fight this?
Or-
Right.
Something from their alternate perp investigation unfortunately incriminated Brian. It could be that, right?
There you go.
It could be that, there's something, it has nothing to do with that. It could be where people are saying he's entirely innocent and only took the plea because of X, Y, or Z, right?
Maybe they had to
It
wait
could
to get
also
all
be
the
that he's
discovery.
guilty. It could also be that he's guilty and there's something and there's a piece of evidence there that he knows he can't get around and he doesn't ever want it out.
I get it, but he's not guilty in the fact that he did it alone. So my point is, if he had other people with him, you're telling me he's not giving up people for some leniency?
We don't know that he hasn't. We don't know what was stipulated to behind
this
the
point-
scenes for the plea.
I get it. I'm just saying on paper at this point, he's getting a bad fucking deal. That's all.
Obvious. That's obvious. Yeah.
Well, but I always say it. I'm just asking questions and spitballing and doing a brain dump. Just questions I have, little shit that runs
I
through
guess
my
it just
brain.
shows me. I guess what I'm saying is that just shows me he has no leverage. So I don't think he even has any names to give.
Mm.
Well,
So,
it might
I don't know.
that might not be what it is though. Like I said, there's definitely protocol that has to be followed in these things and like steps that have to be taken. Okay. So maybe considering the way this everything went down, first off, they didn't have all the discovery. We know that because they were still reaching for discovery at the end here.
Yeah.
Had to get all that. Okay. And then, like at that point, he's denying everything she's asking for. So it stalls her out. And at this point, maybe she said, we got to get the hell out of here. This is not going to happen here. And I said a long time ago, this dude is not going to get a fair trial here. I don't care where you take it.
Goosey. Sorry, Diego. I just wanted to say hello to the queen.
Okay.
Who?
Sleuthy Goosey's in the house.
Oh, hey,
Is the goose here?
Yeah,
The
she's here.
goose is loose.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Sorry,
you in a
Diego.
while.
I did not mean to interrupt you. I just didn't want her
No.
thinking I didn't see her.
No. You're good. You're good. Good to see you, Sleuthy. That's what I'm saying. Like, at that point, didn't have all his discovery yet, which they struggled the whole trial, the whole time, not the whole trial, the whole case, Willie, to get it. And like I said, maybe she just stalled out and said, listen, we got to get the hell out of this place. We're not going to get anything we need here. This is never going to happen. And I said, he's never going to get a fair trial, no matter where he's at in the state, in my opinion. So, maybe that's what it was. Nothing makes any sense with it. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that could be an answer to it. Maybe, who knows?
Well, I got to tell you, if I'm going to be fully honest with you, I think that he's going to take this plea, and the plan is for him to just spend the rest of his life in the clink.
Yeah,
and they're going to move on with their lives because she's got Skylar Mead death penalty case to deal with, unless she already got the DP taken down for that one. I'm not sure. I know she's got that. Even Hitler said, why'd you even take this other case if you knew you couldn't even get through the discovery on this one? Why'd you even take the other case? Things like that. So we'll see. I'm just of the opinion right now, I would be very shocked to see them withdraw this plea.
I would too. I don't expect it. I don't. I do not expect it.
Any final thoughts, fellas, before I let someone else click the link if they want?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop down and probably get something to eat.
If there's anybody else who wants to come up on and join us, that's fine. We'll keep it to 3 or 4 people. No, we can keep it to like
just
4 people.
Your volume's starting to go.
Minus?
Yeah, you're coming in and out. Unless it's just
that was you too, Willie. She sounds okay to me, and maybe it's just
okay. Maybe it's my fucked up connection.
I think it is because you also keep breaking up too.
Yeah, you just went in and out. Either way.
All right. Well, I'm not. Yeah. But I can let somebody else come up here. I'm gonna hop down and I'm starving.
I mean, you can stay. Other people can come up. You just know me. Sensory overload. I can't have like 6 people up here.
Do you need me to jump down or?
You know me. I
No.
smoke too much. I'm always hungry.
I thought I pinned the link though, so hang on one second. Hang on.
I'd love to hear Sleuthy's thoughts on this. Actually, I haven't heard from her.
I'd love to talk to Sleuthy. I wish she would come up, but I don't know. She might not.
There we go.
I'll be right back then, Annie. I'm gonna grab my drink because my mouth is drying out real bad. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, me too. I got my water. Bro, all I drink is water.
All right, let me pin the link.
I can't tell you the last time I drank alcohol.
Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. And Miss Goosey, if you are still here and you want to click the link, we'd love to talk to you and hear what you think about all the shenanigans.
The goose is loose.
The goose is loose. And I can't even believe that she actually stopped into my stream. I feel like very lucky. Because Goosey doesn't come around a lot for this case. So
I know, right? Goosey used to talk to me and then she stopped talking to me. She stopped coming around.
I just always loved listening to her take on the docs and things going on. Where'd Lana go? What time is
well,
it? Are other people going live? Probably. I feel like I'm probably interfering with other people's lives. It's 8 o'clock.
who gives a fuck? You were live first.
Well, I'm just saying.
Me too.
Yes, Daniel's son. I was very shocked he took it. Not gonna lie, very shocked he took the plea. And literally every single time I heard him say yes or guilty, I wanted to vomit. I wanted to just puke my brains out.
Right? I was like, what the fuck?
Same, JK. Same. Exactly. We all just want the truth, which is why I say anybody who's going to be throwing out FOIAs, start with the feds and try to FOIA everything they did in this fucking case. They're probably going to tell you to go fuck yourself, but still try it anyway. Doesn't hurt to try. I don't know where the link went. I tried to pin it. Oopsie. Did I do that? There we go. All right. I'll leave that there for a few. If anybody else wants to pop up, we're going to be here for probably another 15, 20 minutes, and then we're done. So if there's anybody else who wants to pop up and, you know, give us a little peeky poo into their brain and what they think about this, fine. If not, I'm going to shut this shit down in like 10 minutes.
You're like, we'll be here for another 15, but I'll cut this shit down in 10, motherfuckers.
Nah, we're about to hit that 2-hour mark, and I'm already getting like real antsy. You guys know I can't sit for these really long lives.
Really? Like I sat outside one fucking day, yo, and I did a 24-hour live on camera, no bullshit.
Ugh.
I also did a live high on mushroom.
That's
I
nuts,
would
dude.
rather talk to someone about how Brian's and Winston
Not on YouTube though.
before I would rather do a live that long.
Yeah, well, this was the crazy thing is like where I went live, there's no subjects, so it was like people would just come in like this, but everybody would be on camera, and like on a Saturday night, we'd all be getting fucked up, until like 6, 7 a.m. the next morning, huh?
You said 20 hours?
24. I went 24 and then I crashed.
A 24-hour live. I would actually rather want to sit. I would rather sit down and have a conversation about Brian's hologram twin or Whitsick.
Hey, it was fun. I was younger.
4-hour live.
It was fun. I was younger. I could stay up that late. The chicks fucking were, they always come in. I mean, the whole fucking chat was chicks. So like, it was great. But it wasn't YouTube though. So,
24 hours.
It was a different vibe. I know, right? I couldn't imagine that now. I'd probably die.
You ever had these, dude? Or ma'am?
What is it?
What is it?
Oh, Swedish fish? Are they small ones or big ones? I don't like how they're big now. I like the smaller ones. Yeah, I like the small ones.
Did you just say, have you ever had these Swedish fish?
No,
really? I thought you were holding up some, exotic like piece of fruit or candy or something. Of course, we've all had a damn Swedish fish.
What do you got? A fucking variety pack there, bud?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, peach rings.
These things are my favorite.
It's really good when you dehydrate candy and shit, bro. It's banging, I heard.
Yes, it is.
24-hour Whitsick hologram.
24-hour Whitsick hologram.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Viziana.
But there'd be 5, 6 people up and everybody on camera, getting fucked up. It was fun.
Yeah, it's back in the day when we were kids. Of course, that shit was fun.
Yeah.
Well, everybody dipped out. Somebody else is live because I've been watching it. So somebody else is live right now. Who's live? It's 8 o'clock. And at least like 60, 70 people have dipped out. Just bam.
If nobody else was live, I was going to go live after you if nobody else was live. But I don't know if anybody, I don't see anybody else. Hold on, let me look.
Well, I was hoping Goosey would come up, but it's okay if she doesn't want to. I totally understand.
I think Jules had a premiere.
To talk to her.
Idaho?
Jules.
Okay. No, I know. Mittens for kittens. Okay, gotcha. Or Tommy. Okay. So it's either
Oh.
Birdie or Tommy. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, maybe I won't then. I guess nobody will
So
come
what
see
do
me.
you guys think about WITSEC? What do you think? You think Brian's going into WITSEC? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's him in court.
He had a face
You don't
transplant.
think
You saw
that's
that, right? You
That's
saw
a
the
double
face
banger.
transplant. Yeah, that blew my mind. Somebody sent me an email and said, "Dago, you know Brian had a face transplant, right?" And I went, I just deleted it. I didn't even respond.
That's what I do, dude. I look at the email and I just look at it in disgust for like 10 seconds, maybe 15, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and I'm just Johnny fucking, cool tits. I'm just chilling, just looking at it. And
Trying to make sure that you're reading it right?
No, literally, like I woke up to, just so you know,
Can you hear me?
Where'd you go,
am I
Willie?
echoing? Who's echoing?
You are, but Willie just disappeared. His audio
Hear me?
did. Yeah, there you go.
No.
all right, Leah just tried calling me, my daughter. So I'm gonna, cause she's in Arizona. So I'm gonna hop down now.
All right, bud.
And then, I'll try to be back in chat if you're still alive, Benny. But if not, then I'll see you somewhere tonight, or I'll probably hear from you tomorrow.
I'll talk to you later, homie.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right, bro.
Bye.
All right, see you guys. See you, chat.
Oops. There you go.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. There you are. So what do you think? Do you think Brian's going into WITSEC?
No.
You know what was my favorite was when I woke up the next morning and I had a comment saying, "I can't believe you didn't know that he has a twin." That was his twin. That wasn't even him.
What?
Yeah. I about literally, like, when I tell you I witch cackled so loud at 6 o'clock in the morning while I was having my coffee that my fucking cat like came flying down the stairs because it scared her. You know what I mean? So she had to come running down to see what the hell was going on because I'm standing in my kitchen at 6 in the morning just fucking witch cackling at this comment that, I can't believe you didn't know Brian has a twin. That's not him. That's his twin. That's why when I made my video losing my shit, I was like, you have any idea how insane you sound? That it's not Brian's it's not his evil twin. He doesn't have an evil twin that's in court for him, pretending to be him.
That was nuts. I've gotten the face transplant. I've gotten the AI that was AI Brian. That wasn't really him. I've gotten that he dyed his hair and was going tanning because he's not really in jail. That he's staying at a federal motel. All that fun shit too.
Somebody said, yeah, he's about to be off on an island. They're about to put him on a plane and send him off to some island somewhere. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, I don't know shit, but I mean, I'm almost positive that's not how WITSEC actually works. But hey, what do I know, right?
Right. Maori, that was my nickname all through high school. Dago, that's where it came from. So that's why I did it. That's what everybody called me forever and ever.
I thought Brian was a triplet, Beckles.
That's funny.
Oh my God. I got some really funny people in this chat, Dago. I mean, you do too. We all have some awesome, funny people. I'll say that.
The whole community, the community is amazing. I love them.
Poor Heather. She had poor thing. I haven't voice messaged her in a couple days. I send her voice texts all the time, and I got to tell you, if she ever decided to be like, "Hey guys, let me do a fucking phone dump," I'm gonna let you listen to all of Annie's crazy ass voice texts that she sent me. Poor thing. She had to listen to me lose my shit about Brian's twin, his hologram, him being a Fed, about to go into WITSEC. The poor thing.
Heather spends most of her time running around YouTube trying to fix all the bullshit, telling everybody, no, that's wrong, no, that's wrong, no, that's wrong. I feel so bad for her.
I just call her right brain. I love her so much. I can't even tell you how many times I'll be thinking about something, or I just watched something, and then like literally an hour later, she's sending it to me or saying, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I literally just watched that. That's so funny."
Yeah, she's awesome. She is truly. I
I
don't know. She,
do, Detective Mallory, you sandbagging son of a bitch. Good to see you. I do send voice note rants to
nothing
For
wrong with
Fuck's
that.
Sake, Tiana. I sure do.
I've
Meg,
had my,
you
I've had
send
my,
all your stuff too, huh?
I've had my blow ups too.
Well, it's fine. It is what it is.
You can't take it all in and just hold it there.
Willat Harris. Thanks for letting me comment, Annie. Unlike other spineless creators out there, Willat, I'm surprised you're even here, buddy. I'm surprised you're even here and commenting, to be honest with you. Usually you're so fucking mean to me and everybody else's chats.
He came in and said that because I've been here.
You're lucky I let you in, buddy. Welcome on in, fucker.
He only said it because he only came in and said it because I'm in here because he can't do it in our chat anymore because he says ignorant things. That's all.
Well, my mods know. I try not to block people. I really do. Say whatever you want for the most part, as long as you're not taking it to a personal level.
Right.
There was
right.
somebody last night, they were using the word retard. I said, well, now you've crossed the line, and I'm sorry.
No.
Unfortunately, I got to block you.
Yeah, you don't say that stuff anymore. That is not a good word to use. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't like blocking people. I really don't. I want people to be able to say whatever they want to say, as long as it's not ad hominem and personal,
Right. No,
Or
I don't
using
either.
slurs.
I don't either. But when somebody attacks somebody else for no reason and people are, there's no count for it. So.
Young Black Economist, have you been here the whole time? Hello. Twinkle, hello. Sorry, guys, if I haven't been saying hi to everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Even if you're a lurker, hello, hello. Willat, it's myself and Dago currently. We were hoping Miss Sleuthy Goosey was going to click the link, but unfortunately she didn't, and that's totally okay. We love her anyway. She's still a queen.
Yes, the Queen Goose. I haven't heard from her in a long time. I'd really love to hear her take on this now.
I know, right? I'm just waiting for docs, Dago. I just want docs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I check them every 3-4 times a day. Just want to see what it said. Yes,
well,
I'm not.
Too, is I had posted a Vine thing. Talking about this hearing that was supposed to be tomorrow, and I'm like, what the fuck? The 21st. So I made a post about it, just kind of like, hey, anybody know what this is? But apparently it was like an error in their system or something, because the one for the 21st that was originally scheduled is vacated. Like, I saw it on the case summary page today, but I don't know. It was just really weird. Fitzy and I are both like, well, why are they sending this if, it was just kind of weird, but whatever. Apparently everything is still good for the 23rd.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm definitely. What do you think? How do you think Wednesday's gonna go? It is 8:15 here.
Okay. Yeah, same. I don't know how Wednesday's going to go. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like this case has been nothing but unexpected twists and turns. So I guess the only thing I expect on Wednesday is possibly the unexpected and or nothing at all. He's going to take his plea and disappear, and I don't know that there's any plan after that or not. I'm not sure. I mean, at this point, I don't know what the fuck you're going to do after you're sentenced.
Right.
But,
we'll just have to
I guess there's also the potential that they could be waiting until the last minute and they decide to withdraw the plea last minute. I have no idea. Maybe they're waiting on I don't know what they're doing. I think, though, if you want my honest opinion, my gut says they're fine with him spending the rest of his life in the clink, as long as he doesn't get killed. And
Right.
I
Right.
think that was their concern.
I can agree. Definitely.
Just make sure he doesn't get death. And they did that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
It's
I don't
definitely
know,
gonna
right?
be
What do you think?
I agree with you. It's either gonna be business as usual or a wild and crazy day. One of the two.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long
Well,
day,
we'll
that's for
see,
sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It is. I know. I'm not going to cover it or anything. I'm going to be. I'll be just like hanging out at Lana's while she does. Goes live. I'll be in her chat. I'm not going to even try to cover the hearing live. I know there's probably 100 people already doing it. So
I'll be live with it. Only because I've had
it's going to be
everything live.
very emotional, like Meg P says. Sorry.
Yes, it is definitely
Go
gonna
ahead.
be. I'm gonna be putting warning labels up because it's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be sad.
Well, I'm one of those people who won't be crying.
Understood.
It's just not. I don't. Yeah. And it's. I hope nobody's offended by that. It's just I'm probably not going to cry.
There's nothing
I'm just
offensive
not
about
that.
that. Not everybody has the same
I'm not
emotional reaction.
attached in that way.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this has been fun. I appreciate you having me up here. I mean, I'm grateful that I got to finally be here. I have missed so many of these that you've done, regular shows and all. I just
Well,
never
I'm
get.
so glad you came up.
Absolutely. I never get the notifications ever. And I've been subscribed since forever, but maybe it'll help now that I've been in here and all that stuff. Maybe that'll help me get them better. But I'm grateful that you had me. I appreciate you very much. As always.
Look at what Twinkle says. That's healthy, Miss Potts. Talking about me because I'm not. No, it's just that I know how to emotionally compartmentalize things, and
Yep.
I don't get emotionally attached to things that I don't even know or people that I don't even know. Obviously, if we were talking about like my own children, my own family, my pet, I would be a blubbering mess. But I just know how to compartmentalize.
Yeah. I think
was
it's
trained
most of
well
it,
in compartmentalization of emotions. Sorry, guys.
nothing wrong with that. I think most of the emotional stuff is going to be the families speaking out and giving their impact statements is what it's going to be. It's not about Brian or any of that. It's just about what they're going to be saying about their loss and all that. So that's
they're not allowed to address him directly, right?
Actually, I think they are because everything I've ever seen before, I think they absolutely are. In fact, they give defendants earplugs from time to time in these cases because they are directly being addressed. So I don't know if they will do it.
Oh, right.
In this one, or if it's just going to be, what they're saying. But I've seen them here. I've been, in my local area. That's why they say that they have extra security at times because it does get worked up and people start screaming and yelling and you took my family from me and things like that. So yeah, it could be that way. Who knows? And as emotionally invested as the Gonzalez family
I
had.
thought I had heard someone say, either someone say it on a live, or I thought Hitler had referenced it at the hearing or something about the victim impact statements are to be addressed to the court or something. Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing I was looking at, but I thought it was.
They read them, they address them to the court, but they can say, like I've heard them say before, like, for instance, if it was him, Brian, you took my daughter from me, you blah, 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 blah. So they can do it that way, but they're addressing the court when they say it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I was like a little confused about it.
The thing is they get kind of heated sometimes, and that's why I know the security is going to be on lockdown that day. And he did say that they're all going to be there and they will be making a statement. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. And I have a tendency to think that some of the Gonsalves statements going to be directed at the court too. Hitler even possibly, who knows, but definitely the prosecution. So
Well, I'm also wondering too if, like, especially Steve and Christy, maybe, Steve especially. I feel like if Steve is going to give a statement, I wouldn't be surprised if Steve throws some jabs in there
Oh, he
at the
will.
state and the court for even
Yeah.
allowing the plea, because fuck you, we were promised a trial and you were going to show us all the fucking evidence of what happened here.
I absolutely expect that to happen Wednesday. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be said. Olivia's
Yeah.
going to speak, I believe, for her
Justice
sister.
wasn't served, something like that. I'm expecting statements like that to be made.
Yes, that's going to happen. I can almost guarantee that. As far as Karen and Scott and Kara, I don't know that they'll make any statements like that at all. And or the Ethan's family, I don't know, but that the Gonsalves are going to be center stage. I can guarantee that.
I mean, I kind of, in a way, hope they do. I hope they, find a way to articulate that what the court and the state have done here, what the defense and the state have done, utilize, these little backdoor, late night fucking plea sessions and whatever, all we get is a note in an email. I hope that they find a way to put that in there and take their little jab that, like, we can't believe you as the court are even allowing it. You don't have to accept his plea.
Right.
You could put it aside and force the state to prove their case. You could do that, Your Honor.
Very good point. And the Chapins changed their mind. They did say they were going. They have been attending things. Heather says, I predict the G family will change their tune and be totally fine with the studying of BK contributing to the prevention of future crimes. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Maybe they've had time to calm down. I doubt it, but I mean, it's a good thought. You know what I mean? I know in the beginning they were pretty hot.
Angel says maybe Brian will get emotional and jump up and say, that's not fucking true.
Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be interesting at the very least.
It is. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, nobody does. We can all speculate. But I really do hope that at the very least, I know some families are fine with the plea and some aren't. Right. And I hope the ones that aren't find a way to express themselves to the court that they do not believe justice was served here, because, in my opinion, nobody, the victims and their families won nothing. The only people who won here are the state, the FBI, and the defendant.
Yes, ma'am. There was no
justice. I know it sounds wild to say. Well, I know it sounds wild to say the defendant won, but when I say that, what I mean is that if he is guilty, he too gets to hide everything, just like the state and the FBI do.
No, you are right. He doesn't have to take accountability for anything other than just saying yes or no. That's it. That's all
agreeing, right? They're all conspiring to hide it. They're all working together to ensure it's hidden. And to me, that's bullshit. Whatever they're hiding, it seems to be all of them are in agreement. It needs to be hidden.
And that's the
FBI,
question.
State, and Brian.
Yep, that's the question of the year. And everybody in here needs to be asking that question. Not did Brian do it or did he not do it? What the hell is going on and what happened and why? That's what the question needs to be. Because it doesn't even matter anymore whether Brian did or didn't do it, guys. I don't understand how we got to this point after 2.5 years. How are we sitting here having this conversation? How did this happen and why? What are they hiding? That's all. I mean, that's all there is. What the hell are they hiding and protecting?
Right. And if he is guilty, which is totally fine. If he is guilty, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. He's taken his plea. But I don't understand how that's justice, right? Because
it's not.
If the whole point was for the guy to get life in jail, what'd you even attach the fucking DP for then if you were just going to remove it later? So you attach the death penalty for the purposes of leveraging a plea, which is bullshit.
That's right.
Don't attach it if you don't think that the punishment fits the crime.
Yeah, it's not a game. Don't play with, okay, we're going to put it out there and then we'll take it away. And then, oh, wait, no, we're going to give it back. No, we're going to take it away. It's not a game.
You get what I'm saying, though, right?
I
Why
do.
are you
Yeah,
even attacking the death penalty if you don't plan to fucking use it anyway?
that's right. That's right. Don't get me wrong, Twinkle. Listen, I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be known who did this. It absolutely does. Okay. The biggest question and problem within this whole case is how, because most people will sit here and say that they don't believe Brian's guilty. I'm one of them. Okay. So if that's the case, how did we get here, and why did he say he was guilty? That's the question. That's what I mean.
Mm.
Um, you know,
Well, that's kind of what I mean when I say that it would appear, in my opinion, you have not only Kohberger and his defense team and the state and the FBI all seem to be in agreement along with the judge.
Yep.
Hey, we don't want none of this shit out. Actually, you know what, Brian? Brian's just going to take the plea. Actually, we've changed our mind. We're no longer going to fight you on any of this. We're just going to take the plea. I feel like there's only maybe less than a handful of reasons that would occur.
That's very true.
And none of them are good, you know.
No, like I said, I accept what he's done. I have to. That's his choice. You know, we don't have a choice. Do I agree with it? No, but that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. So I don't know. Maybe we'll find out one day what this was all about. Why?
I mean, dude, I was literally called a traitor. Like, you would have thought that I gave up the nuclear codes or something.
So
I was
Willie.
called a traitor because I said, well, I mean, I have to take him at his word. If he's pleading, I guess, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to jump up and down and say, no, he's,
right.
You know, it's a lie? Like, I can only fucking
Can't
take the guy at his word.
That's right. You can't call him a liar.
You know? I was called a traitor. How dare you? I can't believe how quickly you flipped on Brian. I'm like, bro, Brian flipped on himself, dude.
Right.
Brian himself is a guilter right now. You understand?
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
What am I supposed to do with that information other than say, okay, well,
that's it. We can't sit here.
Right. Well, the way I look at it is 2.5 years in, something had to have been produced or found or discovered in the last, 4-ish plus weeks.
Yeah, it's only been about a month or so. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, the past month it's really turned upside down. Truly, that all went down within a month's period of time. So something happened. I agree with that. Something happened that was out of the norm and completely stalled this out. And here we are. So like I said, maybe
what I mean. It would appear that, you know, something maybe was finally coughed up by the state that they've been asking for over and over and over again and couldn't get it. Was there something that the state was withholding until the very last minute that they possibly could? That, you know, is just a 100%. And is it something that they knew technically they got in a way they weren't supposed to? Or something like that? But no matter what, it's so damning that it was enough for like his team to be like, okay, your best bet is this plea.
Well, yeah, take that into consideration 100%. Plus, the continuance was denied. The alternate suspect was denied. Everything was denied.
But Massive didn't look happy about it. Massive did not look like she was on board with this shit at all.
No. Neither did Barlow either, in my opinion. They both, that day of the plea, they both looked very much down in a hole, big time. So, you know, things happen like this all the time, you guys. The defense doesn't always have to agree with what goes on. So, I don't know. Like I said, maybe one day Annie will get all the deets on it and we'll know exactly what happened, why Brian did what he did, why this happened over here, what the hell's going on. I don't. Maybe we will, or maybe we never will. Who knows?
Well, all I know is that if they glory hole this thing into a fucking Fed vault for the next 10 years, I'm going to be pissed. You know?
I'm telling you, I said it 2 weeks ago. And I just said it again when they did take the gag off. I said, this is the JFK files all over again, folks. That's exactly what we're going to get.
Well, I don't know about JFK, but I'll definitely. So one thing I noticed, right, because I've been doing some digging for my Epstein coverage that I'm about to start, right?
Gotcha.
Plus, I'm waiting on a FOIA and whatever. So, there's something that I noticed that's very interesting, and I don't know, there just seems to be a theme across the board in a lot of these cases, whether it's Epstein, Ghislaine, Diddy, Birchmore, you name it, Delphi. It's just like, no matter what, every time you turn around, there seems to be a theme. And the theme is crooked ass fucking cops. Right? Running investigations, tampering with evidence, whatever the case may be, not even doing real investigations, relying on the feds to backdoor all their work for them and shit like that, and then hiding it. And, the whole thing to me is just, no. Because I don't understand, like, you already have all the cool tools, the cool toys, you have access to things regular civilians don't, right? You have all of these investigative tools and everything at your disposal, and you still have to violate our rights to catch a criminal. Okay? Like, how fucking bad are you at your job? Really? How bad are you as an investigator that, in order for you to solve a case, you need the feds to backdoor everything for you and then pretend that they didn't?
Yep.
So you need the feds to violate everybody's rights to solve your case for you and then hide
it. Amen. That's a fact. It seems to be happening a lot. You ain't lying about that.
And like, I'm all for the feds solving crimes like this, right? I have no problem with the fact that the FBI, in my opinion, solved this case for Idaho, right?
Sure.
And if I'm right about that, I have no problem with that being the case. This is the fucking first time ever that the FBI doesn't want their attaboys.
Right. Surprise.
The FBI doesn't want our collaborative efforts and working with our partners at the local and state level are how we were able to solve this crime so quickly. That's usually the kind of press conference you're going to get.
Yep.
This is the first fucking time, I think, in a long time where we haven't seen the feds wanting their pats on the backs and their attaboys for the work that they did.
That's right. They don't want to talk about it at all.
Pretty interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Makes you wonder. Definitely makes you wonder.
Well,
amen to that one. Yes, amen to that one.
I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Think about it. Like, what did they do with Birchmore when the feds indicted Farwell? They came out, immediate press conference. Here's the fucking indictment. Look at what this piece of shit did, and look at what we did to get him. We didn't get none of that here. The feds are like, no. You're not going to tell anybody what we fucking did here. You're not going to use our work. You're not going to use it at trial. You're not going to present it to the court. It's just a tip.
Yeah. That's just a tip. And even on top of that, I need Judge Hippler is telling the prosecution and the defense, we need you guys to work together and make up a lie to tell the jury about the tip. Okay, just handle that, guys. What?
Well, it's not even that they're making up a lie, right? They're just omitting. They're omitting a fact because that fact is a bad fact for the state because the state didn't actually do the work, the feds did. And the way that the feds did the work, state's not allowed to use because the feds are saying, just a tip. So,
right.
I'm still confused what the probable cause is from the DNA on the sheet, allegedly Kohberger's, that led you to no one. What's the probable cause from that to arresting him and getting his buccal swab? If you're not using the IgG, what led you to him?
Amen. I still want to know who the four brothers are. Truly,
Right. Well,
that's one of
hopefully a
my
lot
big
of those docs will get, because initially, so I was looking at that earlier today actually because I wanted to see what the order was. Initially, the defense wanted the entirety of like all of the sealed IGG shit. They wanted
Yeah,
it all unsealed and they wanted the IGG hearing to be public.
right.
And the court shot it down and said no. And what the court did was they were going to, wasn't going to be released until trial, like
Mm-hmm.
after trial and or sentencing, right? Now that we're not having a trial and Hitler's saying he's going to start from the latest documents and work his way backwards and stuff like that. I was going back and looking at those motions and the order on it today specifically to see who was asking for what. And by all accounts, the defense, the state, and the judge all agree that all of that is going to stay under seal
Mm-hmm.
until sentencing, trial and sentencing. But since we're not having a trial, technically, I guess, as of right now,
Right.
we have to wait for sentencing.
Yeah, and
But
according to what Hitler said, that he's going to be very slowly unsealing things, starting with the newest documents he has to the oldest, which I think is dumb to do it that way. But he said it's because he has more of those. But whatever.
Yeah.
So it's going
Well,
to
that's
take
why
some
I'm
time.
saying people need to start demanding it out of the FBI. Like, I don't care. The gag order's been lifted, and once he's sentenced, the court accepts the plea and sentences him. Then the FBI needs to explain every single thing they did in this case because
can
they
agree.
spent well over $1 million. They spent $1 million just on, they used $1 million vehicle for God's sake, and that's just in one instance. Never mind all of the rest of the money they spent investigating him and tracking him and shit.
Right. Let me ask you this, Annie, because I'm curious. I was just thinking about this. So let's say, for instance, a few of us start FOIA the doctor, the federal stuff, right? And
Yeah.
we get responses like that doesn't exist. We don't have that. We can't give you that. And because I feel like that's going to happen. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, the FBI is definitely more than likely going to be like, hey, by the way, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
We don't have to
Yeah.
give you shit.
That's not going to happen.
But
Exactly.
then again, with the heat that the FBI has been taking lately, the head of the FBI and all this shit, and you just never know, right? You just never know. Maybe if for some reason the FBI all of a sudden were to, in the next, say 3 weeks to 4 weeks, end up with 70,000 plus FOIAs
It's going to
for
happen.
everything they did on this case, maybe eventually, finally, they're just going to cough it up or something and realize, like, holy shit.
Yeah, and
It isn't going to be just us. I'm talking mainstream media. Like, if anybody doesn't think that the mainstream media isn't contacting their little friends at the federal, at the Federal Bureau of Investigations to get information,
Yep.
the mainstream media networks are also putting in their FOIAs. So you might as well too.
Yeah, what you just said, that whole 70,000 thing, that's probably going to happen plus some, folks. So don't even think that that's not going to happen. It's going to they're going to get slammed. Period.
Well, I'm just saying, between true crime people, other lawyers who are maybe just nosy people, you name it. Never mind, there's so many people who want to put in a FOIA, all these mainstream media people. You think Brian Enton, you think News Nation, Nancy Grace, none of these people, of course they're going to be putting in FOIAs. They're going to be calling their little fucking Fed buddies like, hey, fill us in. What's going on here?
Exactly. Agreed.
People like, what's her name there? Annie Elise with the Fed husband, the spook husband who gives her all the information and shit. Know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
These people can get it. We're
Right.
the ones funding these fuckers and their salaries, and they're using our money to do all of this. And they need to explain what they did with our money.
Amen.
But that's just my opinion. I don't know shit. So, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Fucking blah, 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 you know, all the YouTube things. All right, so we're going on 2 hours and 25 minutes. Dago, you know I love you, but I'm done for the night. This has been too long.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having me up here. I always love having conversations with you. I always
Anytime,
love having
sir.
you at my place too. Always, always, always. There's always
You're
great
going live?
conversation. Yeah, I think I'm going to here in a few, just for a little while.
Oh, well, everybody head on over to Dago's. Since he's going to be going live, I probably won't pop up on panel tonight just because now I'm done for the night. I've had enough
No
sensory
worries.
overload,
Right.
but I'll be in chat.
And I appreciate it very much, and hope to see some of you guys over there for sure. Annie, again, thank you for having me. I always enjoy hanging out with you. It's always awesome. So, and I loved being here for
Same.
the first time. Very great as always. I mean, the community's the community. All these people are amazing wherever we go, wherever they are. You know, they're always the same. So, amazing stuff, amazing people. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right, have a great night, dear.
Bye. Aw. Oh, well, this was a fun night. Some fun conversation. Love talking to Dago. Love talking to Willie. Really hoping that Miss Goosey, maybe next time will pop up. Maybe Miss Goosey just likes it to be just like one-on-one. If so, Miss Goosey, you know, you can go ahead, have my people get in touch with your people, or have your people get in touch with my people, and we can work something out that you get to be a guest. Miss Sleuthy. I would absolutely just love to talk to Miss Goosey and hear what she thinks about the last few months of this dumpster fire of a case. It would be a lot of fun to talk to her, I think. Oh, well, Willat, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out here and being kind in chat. And thank you for, hanging out. Every single one of you. Mods, thank you. Like seriously, every single one of you. If you sent a little tipsy, appreciate you. I don't know how to shut off the damn super sticker thing so that when I go live, it can just be like a regular chat with just mods. I don't know how to shut off that like money symbol thing in the chat. So once I figure that out, it probably won't be there as much as I appreciate you guys. You don't have to do that, but thank you so much. And thank you, Dago and Willie, for coming up. And I gotta say, this was a kick-ass night. Okay. You guys are awesome. Everybody stayed super cool in chat. Everything was chill. It was just a nice conversation. And I'm glad that we got to kind of bang off each other's brains there for a little bit, It was fun. But yeah, head on over to Dago's. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, we'll definitely see you Wednesday. I won't be going live, but I'm sure I'll see you in plenty of the chats. So yeah, unless we get some docs, but I don't think we will. So we'll see though. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Catch you on the next one. Bye.